Yo, hello there guys, I hope you're doing well, gorgeously well. In fact, it is Sunday, the 5th of April. Happy Easter, my friends. Today we are continuing on with an art stream, doing exactly what we were doing the other day, continuing going through my older artwork pieces, and then just making it a little bit more safer for YouTube so that this little gallery down here on the bottom of the screen in the corner doesn't keep getting me demonetized. We're going to have to remove the one where Orochimaru is actually grabbing a boob as well. So we're just going to chill, basically, and chat and do that. But if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to ask away. We are still just in the setting up stage whilst I press some buttons and do some different things. I'm very quickly going to grab a link from the live art channel and paste it into my sample gallery in my main art channel. So let's quickly do that. Covering up anime boobs, day 2. Also, thank you very much for the follow. Hey, welcome. Hey, Eli, how you doing? Welcome back. Go over here. This is my last thing, and then we can actually get to work. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend so far? Everybody hunting for eggs. Wait, do you hunt for... Easter Sunday is when you hunt for eggs. Easter Monday is a bank holiday. And that's the limit of my knowledge. Alright, let's add this in. Oh yeah. This is, I think that's the one thing I can't preemptively do, because I need to be live before I can actually add that stream location in. But I might be able to preemptively get the URL if I put the stream on a like preset go live premiere. Also, Life, how you doing? Isn't here. Okay, see ya. But thanks for the follow. Right, truly have we achieved all that we need. Allow us to go into art mode, my friends. My delicious warm couriers of justice and hope and emotion. We will once again open up my Twitch gallery on one screen and then edit my artwork on this computer. So let's get that on the go. Ho, ho, ho. Allow me to make sure I'm not shouting directly into the microphone. Wonderful. It's rabbit season. Is that how you get... What do you guys call it? Is it trichomoniasis or something? Aren't rabbits like a superfood? They're both a superfood, but also they make you really ill. Oh, the Mario movie was really good. A lot of old school tropes. Okay, so I actually wasn't aware of a Mario movie until yesterday. I was like, surely a Mario movie came out just the other week. Turns out apparently that's not the case. And I'm really old. Was this Mario movie... So the first one's Mario, right? And then this one is Mario Galaxy. So the way I'm imagining it is basically... Is it like Ralph? Is it like Wreck-It Ralph versus... Ralph Breaks the Internet, where you're just kind of like, yeah, they're all there again, but or is it actually like really, really good? Why are you covering the drawings up, Livy? We have to cover them up because the gallery down here, Livy, for the millionth time, gets me demonetized on YouTube's AI algorithm. I'm not covering them up for fun. The big Y is mad. So Andre. The big tube and its advertiser overlords. Oh my god, hi! I've been following your art tutorials for years, when I was younger, and I'm glad to be able to find you live. Life isn't here. Warmest wishes, dude. Hey, welcome. Yo, are you still drawing now, or is it just like a distant memory? Yo, how you doing, dude? Right, let me just open up that gallery over here. Oh, by the way, guys, I finally got my hands on some PlayStation emulator. I haven't gone into it yet, but like either we're going to be working until it's bedtime or we might fit in some Tenchu Stealth Assassin. Just a little bit for Mikey's memory lane. Okay, Twitch and then slideshow gallery. Okay, brilliant. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done all the way up to Cinderella. Then we did Cult of a Lamb. We were working on... I think we'd almost done them, but we were doing the last of the Danny Victoria. I think I need to open it out a particular folder now because I renamed it. One sec. The lookup won't work on Photoshop. Tenchu Z was my jam. I don't know Z, but the OG Stealth Assassins. Hi, ha, na 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 na. That was my absolute vibe. And I'm going to make it your absolute vibe, given enough time. Arts. YouTube safe art copies. Here we go. We were up to Danny Victoria. What time are you going to watch more Trek tomorrow? Uber Freak. Heyo, that's the right question, big man. Tomorrow night is Star Trek Monday. Monday night Star Trek will continue. And basically what I aim for, roughly, now that the episodes are only 45 minutes long, I'm aiming for like 10 p.m, just before bed, basically, UK time. And I think 10 p.m. in the UK might be about 5 p.m. Eastern, depending on where in the world you are. Yeah, now I'm designing characters for YouTube content. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Love to hear it, man. Which Trek? Yeah, at the minute we're on Star Trek TNG. Season 1, Episode 3 is coming up. Code of Honor. Less said the better. Or Specs. How you doing, man? How's life treating you over on that side? Actually, I haven't done a little quick test to make sure both the chats work. I'm sure they do. I'll stop even testing this soon, but they didn't work once, and I never worked out why, but they clearly work this time. Hey, Cara, how you doing, man? Welcome back. Probably younger than me. Shorttail, do you think I'm younger than you? How dare you? And look, oh, I tried. You tried TNG? No, Shorttail. You will enjoy TNG. I will make you enjoy TNG. And through me, together, we will just take on a world of pleasure like never before. Which is my way of saying, I will force you to remember things that I remember liking when I was a very young man. Live. Let's freaking go, bruv. I'm going to take the hardness off a little bit on this brush and just do this. Hey, Enkato, welcome on in, big guy. How you doing, man? What is the best snack to hit in the midnight? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm into right now. And I know it sounds simple, but I actually have clearly missed out on it in my brain. I'm really madly in love with instant mashed potato. You can go down at night, and if you've bought yourself ham, like a box of ham trimmings from Tesco, like the cheap ham cut-offs, you can go downstairs, do what I do. I put an OXO cube in the middle of the bowl, pour boiling water on the OXO cube so it immediately dissolves. So all you have to wait for is the kettle to boil, and then immediately just sprinkle a whole load of mash on top of it, stir it in. You've got this brown, gravy, meaty mash. Dump in a load of ham, a bit of salt, and dump in a chunk of butter, mix it, then salt and ham, mix it up, and you've just got this massive piping hot filling meal out of nowhere in the space of moments. Over the last few days, I have consumed so much instant mashed potato. I don't even know who I am anymore. It's more mashed potato than man now. Mashed potato killed my father. No, Luke. I ate your father. No. So again, this isn't like, I'm not like republishing old art under a safer guise or anything, but I do want it to just look not too wrong. It doesn't have to be right because it's just in a gallery that's scrolling down there. But I might as well change master copies so that they're nice and big and high res. so that if I need to use them for like YouTube thumbnails or anything like that in the future, I've got a higher chance of the thumbnail not being magically removed or the video suddenly being demonetized. These are the battles you have to fight. Do you know how they always say in America, when you get into a fight and you defend yourself with a knife or a gun, you have two fights? You have the fight that keeps you alive in the moment on the street, and then you have to fight it again in court. So you always have to be like careful about stuff. You don't want to get a knife that says "born to kill" on it and stuff like that. It's a bit similar when it comes to making YouTube content. You've got to fight for the video to not get demonetized, but then you have to fight again for like the thumbnail not to get removed and age restricted and stuff. Oh, it's a tough old world, let me tell you. Come closer. Lend me your ear. Mikey, nobody uses YouTube. You're too old. It's TikTok now. Mikey, you're too old. Let go. Nobody uses YouTube for art shows. TikTok is the new block. You're too old. Let go. Nobody does a YouTube art show. I still use YouTube. Hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome. See, some of you guys are still YouTubing with your boy. Elementos, welcome on in. How you doing, man? It's normally with a gun, though. Yeah, I just added knife because I'm English. I had to make it more region specific there. All right, that is done. So we're going to give that a little save, and then we're going to just export a boy. There's something wrong with my color profiles. I'm going to see a doctor about it. I've got sRGB default, sRGB like, you know, 1.21376 or something as a default profile in my Photoshop. And I've got that coded against my monitor. But there's something about having Asus monitors on my other computers that means it messes up my print screen function. And it weirdly desaturates all my stuff. It's very annoying. I've got to look into that. I don't even know what I need to do, but I know there's a thing, and I know that's vaguely what the problem is. You going to share all your secrets, Mikey, or just maybe get some art done? A bit of both. There we go. YouTube save copies. Victorian Danny. Another one added in. These aren't guaranteed to be YouTube safe, by the way, but they're a hell of a lot safer than they were earlier, and I'm hoping that's going to be good enough. We will know when I next upload a video. Right now, this video is obviously going to get demonetized because I spend half of the time zoomed in on a pair of boobs. YouTube just isn't going to be okay with that. But next time we do a more general video, I want to see if it still triggers. Okay, so here's one that might also be a problem for YouTube. Now, I don't know if you can tell. I'll open up this next art file, and you guys can try to tell me where you think the problem might be. I'll make this one a bit thinner. Just so that you've got something to look at over here. Might be more annoying than it's worth, but let's give it a little go. I'm just going to do this. There you go. Oh, hey, have you got a... You guys can't see like a tiny strip of grey at the top of the screen, can you? I'm sure you can't. Okay. There's that. You need to make the fabric on her chest a little less skin colored. I've actually made that way less skin colored. So this was semi-transparent earlier. This is... Henry, aren't you be at church right now? Oh, and Danny. Do you want to know something? It triggers... Do you want to... I'm not kidding. It triggers less with dark skin and black characters. No. I don't know that for a fact, by the way, Fenrir. You might be completely right. 100%. So I'm going to see how I go. But that might be great advice, but I will see. Even if you, like, cover up cleavage, it will recognize the lines. It will see that it's a little bit shifty, i.e. a light shift. This is my church. Oh yeah, brother. Vigilante crocodile. Hey, why don't you burn in hell? One sec. More bots. Come visit this weird website. Most of it's in Chinese. Yeah, no thanks, big man. I've always liked your style. Aye, Cam. Thank you, Elementos. Yarr. Hey, Chameleon S, how you doing? What percentage does our progress bar of completing covering them up say? Well, these are very covered. And Danny's a little bit... Look, okay, look, we're here. Seeing as we're here... Would a screen get me where I want to be right now? So yeah, it's not the skin tone that's the problem. It's the line. Let's just make it normal. And the only reason why I think that's the case is because I remember I did a fan art for Monster Hunter, and that video was up and fine for months. About 3 months later, that Monster Hunter video, the fan art, got demonetized and age restricted, and they removed the thumbnail. I was like, wonderful YouTube, what a wonderful email to wake up to. And every time I put it back, they kept taking it down. So then I just put a black bar just along the cleavage line and it stayed up. But by then I was too angry. So I just put another one up and I pixelated it and I just wrote across it actual hentai according to YouTube. Yo, Reiku, happy Easter, brother. How you doing, man? Yeah, Google's ruining everything. You are correct. They're teaching us how to think. The Church of Anime. Hey, Fentacle, how you doing? Okay, not shocked. Yo, Fen, how you getting on this weekend, dude? What are you up to? I think it's the cake! It's, so if you're turned around, it's definitely bum crack. That sets it off like mad. If you're facing forward, it's, from what I can tell as a booby artist, it's mostly cleavage. Anything that's under boob, side boob, or cleavage, they go mad. So even if you have fully clothed bodysuit, but with a separated boob line, that can still just set off the AI really annoyingly. Can I get a... Can I get a... Yeah, bah! Sorry, I can't do it super cute. What, who is that? Isn't there like a famous meme where some girl is like, oh, you guys want me to do like an uwu? I can't do uwus. And then she does like the cutest uwu, and it literally became like the most famous one on the internet. Hola, Mark Joseph. ¿Qué tal, amigo? Todo bien. Hey, Keem, welcome back, man. I'm only 15 minutes late. Keem, you are as early or as late as you ever need to be. It's perfectly fine, man. The magic of me doing an art live stream is I'm just sitting here doing my work and chilling with you guys. And you turn up or you leave whenever works for you. This is a zero pressure environment. Zordin. It's much better now, Zordin. But it certainly did have more trouble back in the day. 100%. In terms of scraping and the way it sets up its data sets, it's predominantly in developed countries that use computers and have a lot of computer data sets. And they still tend to be a little bit more white than black on average. And it meant that it was actually not as good as recognizing stuff with people with way darker skin. But then again, like, face detection in a camera is preset for white people. You have to like manually go in and change settings if you want to like get your good tones. If you're like if you're black person, if you're the black person, I've heard there's one. If you're a black person, you have to go in and you have to like change the settings manually. And I'm doing it for the children, Eva. I'm doing it so that the future is less salacious and more salubrious. Eva, that one's for you. Mikey, do you want a moderator for your YouTube? I asked ages ago, but you skipped over it as per usual. I'm sorry, Eva. Did you ask that today? I mean, everybody has pretty behaved in YouTube so far. You guys aren't going to fuck around, are you? You're welcome to go into my YouTube and mod if you're willing. I think you already are set up as a mod. Oh no, Eva, that was back when we were on the other channel. I think you're a mod on Mikey Mega Mega. Yeah, no, my child, I am not. I'm sorry, Eva. You're my number one model on the Mikey Mega channel. Yeah, we'll look into it. Don't worry about it today. All I honestly have to do, because it's such small numbers. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube right now live with me, you guys are the hardcore crew. You've got in early before like we get the ball rolling and I do tutorials again. But right now it's a pretty small chill crowd. So when it gets a bit more bigger, I'm definitely going to have to ask you for more help. Oh, I can't do it anyway. I got to run. Tickle your balls, slap your willy. Also, happy Easter. Okay, Eva. Well, yeah. Well, in that case, don't worry about it then. But thank you for bringing it up. I think I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. Look, all I honestly have to do with the other channels is delete bots on Kick. It's just Kick that's full of bots. That's it. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely Easter and you do something awesome with friends and or family, Eva. Much love to parents, and I wish you all my best with that, and have a lovely day. But also, thanks for popping in. Guys, Chameleon S is here. Everybody say hi, Chameleon S. What a Monster Hunter video. Thank you, Exodus. Oh, what Monster Hunter? I did a Monster Hunter fan art. I will show you. This video is getting demonetized on YouTube anyway. Oh, I need to bring up the next piece of artwork regardless. So, it was one of the old ones. Is it Monster Hunter Wilds? The one before the one that came out on the Switch. Oh no, it's the one that did come out on the Switch. Oh, here we go. Monster Hunter Rise. So it's the one that had like Monster Hunter Rise Shrine Maiden-y characters. So this, yeah, that's going to get demonetized, fine. But the actual thumbnail got removed and it got set as an 18+ video. And I was like, are you sure that's like, because the thumbnail got removed, so I just like appealed it. And then they did the AI scan on the appeal, and then they were like, your appeal has failed and we've now age restricted it. And I was like, oh, is it like this, is it? So when I cover up just this little window here, just this shape, it stopped being a problem, even though there's loads of boob curve. But in the end, I literally just made like a giant thumbnail. This was back when I was doing all the time-lapse videos. Anyway, we'll come back to this one, because that will be a lot of work to cover up before we do it. Anyway, the next one on my list So to go back to my earlier question, can you see on this particular piece of artwork where YouTube is having a bit of a problem with it? Because that's what we've got to cover up. Although, God, what did I even call it? It's one of the Elvenheim ones, right? Is she like a priestess or a maiden? Hijklmnop? Sorry, I deleted a load of really old art out of here to make it a bit more easier to use. But I would, like, you know, I'm not even sharing anymore, but I still can no longer find anything. It might not be in here. Oh, I found it. Oh, it's under D. It's under D for dumpy. Okay, that'll do. So for some reason, this is also setting off YouTube's TOS filter. I've got no idea why. This is also somehow also managing to be a problem for me. So we're going to have to add more clothes to this one. Did you name it? I did, I just never remember what I named it at the time. Oh, mate, Uzenon, or Luzenon. Hey, thank you very much for lurking along, mate. I love lurkers. How you doing, dude? Demand more moderators than bounce. Classic chameleoness. I've asked about it in older streams, Mikey. Thank you for asking, Eva. Short tail. Have a good evening, dude. Look after yourself. Did you ever go to school for art? Yes, I did go to school and take art when I was a kid. And no, nothing I learned there has anything to do with how I draw today. So I'm self-taught in all of this, but the idea of doing art and being artistic is not something like I had trouble getting into either. Mike, you missed your calling as a computer engineer with your folder naming conventions. Thank you so much, Eva. I heard the other day that there's a thing where, Eva, you're into technology, where if you go into a server room, you can scream at the servers and it affects the spin cycles or something. And like you can cost data centers money if you go in and like scream your lungs out and have a panic attack. Follow me for more advice. So I'm thinking, because I've given her dark nipple covers, we're just going to do more dark lacy underwear. The problem is I think that's just going to be a horrible balance. So maybe we'll just try to put more white in. And I'll make it so that the white is kind of like under the nipple covers. I think it's better to start off simple for the sake of getting stuff done tonight. So I'll put some white down on a normal layer and we'll see how we go. Tutoriales y no entiende en inglés, pero lo único que entiende es el dibujo que veo mi costo entenderio debido al autista, pero me ahoga bastante de mi error. Muy bien. Yo entiendo nunca, pero estudio y gracias para él. El dibujo para el mundo. Hablo inglés por les inglés Estados Unidos, pero dibujo por el mundo. Lo siento. Yo, Joe Slumbers, how you doing, man? Hey, all. Yeah, it was sort of Rise. Zordin, hey, welcome on in, man. Amazing patterns, thank you. Yes, we are in fact becoming. Wait, call me a seamstress. What is a seamster? Is it, sorry, what is a seamstress when you're a man? A seamster? Sounds like being a little teamster. All the little Hulkamaniacs. Consider me a seamster, for I am creating garments for our new monetized future. A seamer, a tailor. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, mate. Rich man, poor man. Anyway, Eva, much love, Eva. Let's have a chat, mate, when you're less... Well, when you've got a little bit less on your plate. Actually, no, Eva. That's actually up to you, Eva. We can either have a chat when you've got a little bit less on your plate. I love you very much. Or we can chat way sooner if you want to get anything off your chest and talk to your boy. I'm down for either. Just trying to make these curves travel a little farther and wider. I've got to love it when a lady's seams have more stress. Oh, I'll stress your seams. Si yo también. Hey. ¿Todo bien? Y hola. Muy bien. If you want to verbally abuse the computer, you have to gaslight via... Yeah, I just don't want to be having those conversations. I still use mine to help me. I can't get this line of code to work. Could you please make the code work? Ah, that's great. I can see here, you're trying to download people's OnlyFans contents without signing up to the website. What you need to do is just change this line here. That's what's creating a problem in CSS. Oh, thank you. Sorry, that's not a conversation I've ever had. I might have to go into the actual file so that I can go underneath the layer that's got all the transparent fabric. This is a bit more, yeah, I'm just going to put this on top of everything. It's going to be a slightly bit more pain in a bum. Again, it doesn't need to look super authentic. It'd be nice if I could mostly make it visually match, so it's not jarring. But this is very clearly added clothes on top of a finished piece. I'm not too worried. I'm not trying to, like, resell an idea. I want to chat, but are you even available to chat? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, Eva? No worries at all. My Friday evening. Actually, Eva, you're a daytime playtime. Because you're always you always sort of have to leave halfway through my streams. Eva, what about my Friday early afternoon? Or very, very late morning? You said you watched your tutorials in English and didn't understand anything. Yeah, I got the bit about him definitely not understanding stuff, but definitely understanding the drawing stuff. I didn't get the full details, but I got the vibe for sure. He had trouble for autism. He improved a lot from his errors. Hell yeah. Elementos, thank you for translating. Happy time zone, everybody. You've dropped a bunch of garden pictures in chat. Hell yeah, Candy. Do you mean in Discord? Hell yeah, Candy. Happy Easter. A sewist, a sewer, a tailor, or a designer. Yeah, put my hands on your fabric. The woes of life got to you too. Yeah, sounds good. Friday works for me. I'll ping and let you know whatever times work. Oh, hell yeah, Eva. Thank you very much. Where do you want a message? I think Twitter messaging doesn't work anymore. Oh, yeah, fuck! I'm not even kidding either. It's literally, I don't even know what's going on because it's really specifically your account and not all the time, but Ayatollah's account. Which is terrible because I also don't often check my messages, but I swear to God there's a thing. You started messaging me on my alt now. Eva, could you just message me on a Discord DM? Would that be okay? Try to make you go to Discord. You probably just muted or blocked me. That's cool. No, because the thing is I know how to do that, Eva. Because I do that to Naru Michael every now and then. Because he tags me in videos of spiders. so I know how to mute and block. That's not something I've done to you. Because you still land in my normal inbox. It's just that I don't get a one icon next to my message or chats icon. So I'm gonna paint over the whole thing, but then also separately just come back and I'll manually reshade this bit. Love your artwork. Emmanuel, hey dude, thank you very much for saying. Muito bem, gracias para él. Sadly, we are adding clothes today instead of taking them away. I need to add some boos. Ooh, shut up. I need to get some boo sound effects. Boo! Happily make my own. Boo! Also, just a little heads up, if you are watching on YouTube, that's great, thank you, hi. But YouTube for copyright has no music. If you're listening to your own music in the background, awesome. But if you do want more music, we are listening to music on Twitch. It just doesn't get saved in any of the videos. So that's my way of saying if you ever hear me start singing, that's because we're listening to music. It is contextual singing, not like an illness. Gotta run. Thanks again. Yeah, look after yourself, Eva. Take care. Eva's going, everybody. We can stay up late now. Quick, go get the naughty video from my dad's room. The one he keeps in the drawer. No one's here to stop us. It is indeed a sad day, Mikey. Today is a good day to die on this hill. But the day is not yet over. Talking about dying. Oh, Fenrir, I bet you can't wait for a later episode of Star Trek. It's the one that you keep in your homework folder next to all those Asian ladies' tummies. For when you want an extra kick at the end, you know? Or if you really want to split the ceiling in half. Sorry, you don't deserve that. Fuck yeah! Oh! Sorry. What's your go-to brush for line work? Yours is always so clean. Your attitude is quite clean, mate. For lines, will do one of two things. At the moment, it's one of two things. I will either use the texture main brush, which is literally a basic default Photoshop chalk brush, and then just do another layer smaller. Or I will use a very pencil-y, a rondy brush with a very pencil-like finish. And that's usually if I'm then... So this art on the left is with the pencil brush. This art on the right is like with an Inca finish brush, which is Inca Fin. I don't know if all of those are in the brush pack right now, because I still haven't updated it. Because basically I had to do a little bit of homework that I still haven't done. Most of these brushes are from my Adobe licensed account, so that's fine. I can share those. One of the brushes is from Dave Greco, which I got permission years ago to use in my own brush pack, which I distribute. And I think like two of them might be Rhino Tuner brushes, and I'm pretty sure I had to buy Rhino Tuner's pack, so I don't know if I can share them unless I edit them and make them uniquely mine, in which case I can. So if I get around to changing some settings on a couple of these brushes so that they're functionally identical, but I've definitely tweaked them for me, then I'll add them into my free brush pack. And then in about 3 months I'll make it a paid brush pack. So when I relaunch the brush pack, get it, because in the name of trying to make more money, I will eventually be like, yeah, you can grab my brush pack. I only use like a tiny handful of brushes. I'm not a big choice guy. If you have a million brushes, and like I've got loads of other people's packs down here, but you can see that I don't use them. I use these ones. I use 5 at most during any piece of art. But every now and then, like I'll use a rake brush or something like that. But 5 or 6 brushes will kind of get you anywhere you really want to be, depending on your art style. But I will eventually be like, yeah, my brush pack's going to cost you, I don't know, $3. So I will announce it when I update it. I'll be like, guys, get it now whilst it's free, because I'm going to start charging for it. But I'll let you guys know, don't worry. Damn it, so in Season 2, Tantalus is played by the same guy that voices the raccoon from House Broken. I'm watching you and Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson? Oh, Percy Jackson. Oh, sorry, dude. I haven't seen that. That's for Lightning Thief, right? Is that any good? How are you finding it so far? When you're talking about houses, I thought for a minute you were talking about Dune, the Dune prequel, which we're going to do a live watch-along to, live reaction series. I'll wait till Fenrir's free. We'll work out his dates. Kind of wish these nipple things were a different colour now. What are my options with a selection tool? Okay, let's get a little bit contiguous before. Where is Steel Ball Run, episode 2? Dude, I still don't know the episode, dude. We talked about this the other day. I still don't know what it is, man. I'm not watching that part of JoJo just yet, brother. Please, brother, come on. Brother. Oh, actually, why am I even being sacred about that? Let's just include that. There we go. I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. Just going to drop straight on top. What is a resolution do you most often use for your artwork? I like to work on a 5,000 by 3,000 pixel canvas, generally. It is vaguely similar to working on an A3 sized canvas at 300 DPI. I actually work at 350 DPI now, just because you can get a better result from some of your brushes. But a 3,000 by 5,000 canvas is nice because although it's similar to making A3 publishable artwork, the ratio is just nicer for portraits if you do a lot of stand-up hot ladies, and the landscape ratio is also better. And then within that, you can start setting your own borders and boundaries. On my default art file that I use, gosh, I was about to describe something that I could show you. So I have a sort of default thing, portrait template or landscape template. Just here we go. So I've got here portrait 350 DPI template. Sorry, it's a bit cropped with how I work. Sorry, I've got 3 different files open, so it's not full screening the way I'm expecting. Also, thank you for the follow. How you doing, by the way? Underdog, what's good? Underdog Art Warrior, hell yeah! Dean from XP Brew. Guys, my tea deal is here. Can somebody drop me in? Dean, could you please start dropping an exclamation mark T in chat when you pop your fat little head in my stream? Your gorgeous, wonderful fat head. Sorry, bruv, you don't deserve that. Dean, just please assume that you have permission when you say good evening. Don't spam it like all night, but when you pop in and pop your head in, come drop an exclamation mark T, and it will save me asking my mods to do it for us. But guys, Dean is my tea dealer. But that's not important. How you doing, dude? What's up? So guys, over on YouTube, so here you can see I've got a 3000 by 5350 DPI canvas. And what I do is I've got like a load of little layer things that are pre-built in. So I can split it up if I want to just do a load of thumbnail sketches at the same ratio. If I make it a tiny bit thinner, can you see the difference there? Then this is the scale of a tarot card. And if I make it a little bit fatter, this is the scale of a Magic the Gathering card or a standard playing card. If I'm making a manga page, then I've got presets in for my different bleed layers and where I want speech bubbles to go to the edge to and so on. If I actually want to do standard stuff, because I used to work in A3, like I said, this will drop me back into an A3 format. This is marginally smaller than a standard A3, but the proportions are the same. And then I've got a few other like layer tricks, like with values and stuff. So setting yourself up a nice template Photoshop file that you open that template to do your artwork, just really kind of like really helps you along your way. Oh, he's dropping a lurk anyway. Oh, he can't even hear me. Anyway, appreciate it. I would buy that. Uber Freak, bless your heart. I've got the Rake pack. He has a couple good ones in there. I fucking bet. I mean, Rake is a couple good ones. E. Little shapes. Got all little shapes going up here. That's so cool. Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's super helpful. And it also means whenever I'm opening a canvas to do art, I know exactly what I'm working with. I know that if I'm going to fill up the whole canvas, I'm going to get a nice publishable piece of work. If I was doing like a professional commission for print or advertising, I would actually work on a much bigger canvas, way bigger scale. But in terms of the work that I do, that just has to still look good if you look at it on a 4K monitor, it really works. I do need to become a bit more print conscious to help alleviate people's desires. But for the moment, everything's quite desktop based. Alright, that works relatively well, bearing in mind that this is going to cover the bottom half. Yeah, I really don't like that now. That's a bit nicer. I'll still need to make a fresh flat layer though, because that's a screen layer. Can I clip? Can you make a clipping mask to a layer with another flat unclipped layer in between? Oh, actually, maybe that doesn't matter. I need to make a two-step clipping mask, right? Because this is going to clip over a normal instead of clipping to a screen. Is the normal going to affect like a screen? Sorry guys, I'm just mumbling nonsense whilst I want to see if I can put a soft blend shadow back over the bottom of this. No, because it's a screen layer. Okay. So in that case, I'm just going to select it non-contiguously. I guess maybe I'm just going to have to just do another flat white layer like I did with Victoria. But this time we'll just do it as a hue just for this entire section of boobs. Just so this all becomes top. How long did it take you to get used to drawing digitally? I mostly draw in Traliviche. Oh, dude, I'm not even familiar with what that is. I was wondering what's the fastest way to get used to drawing digitally. The fastest way to get used to drawing digitally is drawing digitally every day. I don't know if I've got a good answer about how long it took to get used to it, but I can tell you about the process. And if you're aware that this is the process, then you won't stress out about it. And that is, if you are relatively competent at drawing right now, like in real medium, like your sketchbook or paper or watercolor, and you want to move over to digital and you're thinking of getting a tablet, that is a new tool, and your art skills will not immediately magically transfer at the same standard. When you start using a digital tablet, you will be immediately slightly disappointed to realize that you can't instantly use it the exact same way you use paper. That is completely normal. That is part of the emotional journey of change. And the secret is you just keep using the tablet. And what happens is, because you're just going to be like, this is just a bit weird, I don't know if I like it after all. You will just keep using it. And what happens is that after a while of using it, it's not that you eventually go, oh wow, it doesn't feel weird anymore. Now I feel like I get it. Instead, what happens is you just forget that you used to think it felt weird. It's not like a sudden, okay, this is what's different about a tablet. You basically just keep going, and then eventually you forget to keep going, and then that just means you're used to it. So, the best way to get used to it, use it. Use it, lads. I need to buy a DisplayPort to HDMI converter, otherwise I can't have both monitors and a tablet. So that's another thing. If you ever want to become a digital illustrator who live streams, you are going to own a lot of cables. You will have many cables in many drawers. I am a man with a very particular set of goals. Do I still have that? I am a man. I don't still have that one.
Maybe you could tell me what you think is going on. And please, Speak as you might to a young child or a golden retriever.
Oh, never mind. I was just looking for something unrelated. Anyway, what's the saying? I am a man. I am a man with a very particular set of cables. Azadra Kadavra. Oh, Azadra Kadavra. What are the dimensions needed for professional print work? Uber Freak, your client will specify. If somebody's going to tell you they want you to print banners and big things and all that sort of stuff, even say like box art for a video game or poster art for a video game, they will actually probably expect you to be working on insanely large file sizes with very high-res pieces so that they have the freedom to use those pieces as big or as small as they like. But they will tell you their, like a good client will tell you their expectations. Clearly. Not every client is good. Also, thanks for the follow, dude. I'm doing great. Wait, what? I've got to go study. You have a good one, Elementals. I miss your YouTube tutorials. Control True. Hey there, man. Welcome in. Yeah, they will come back, but I have to do a number of things in a specific order, and I'm so slow at doing them. I am very, very aware that everybody wants more tutorials, and it's super sweet that they keep asking all the time. But I have to get my house in order a little bit before I get back into the swings of making tutorials. I'm actually sort of soft getting back into a very particular schedule that lets me be a very busy guy. So I'm sort of adding more things in every week of different tasks for different channels and platforms. Because those tutorial videos sort of take up at least half a day to make. So I need to make sure like my Patreon is good. I need to make sure we're cool on everything else. But I will crack back in. I look forward to doing so. There's something lovely about not having to deal with what a nightmare making content on YouTube is in terms of how the platform constantly demonetizes you and stuff. I've enjoyed not worrying about that, but it's also meant I haven't got any money. So yeah, we'll have to go back. We'll have to go back. I got humbled the first time I tried digital art, but now I feel as comfortable as on paper. Sabrini, hell yeah. It's like that though, isn't it, right? When I first was giving it a go, I was still drawing in my sketchbook. And then I would scan in. I saved up my money, bought the cheapest printer I could from the Argos catalogue, which is like British Amazon from back in the day and before the internet. And I would scan in my sketchbook work, and I would have no idea about like correcting an image to make it easier to work with. So I would then just like try painting directly over the image in like a very, very legal copy of Photoshop I bought off eBay on a CD. It's good times. I think it was Photoshop version 4.0 Home Edition. And the CD it came on off of eBay looks so legit. It came in like colored card with the Adobe logo on it and stuff. Can't believe I managed to pick up a copy of Photoshop for only £25. Good times back then. It's more expensive now. I'm pretty good at drawing comics with a pen in the traditional way. Oh, you know the joys of inking. Oh yeah. I'm going to leave that bit out because I think it will blend off anyway. Depends on what you're comfortable with. Making comics digitally speeds up the process. Traditional is always fun to do. The thing is that although you can get close, there is a very particular I'm so digital now because its pros horrendously outweigh any of its cons between the two mediums for the type of work that I do. That being said, there is no true substitute for the feeling of zoning out and inking up like a sketch you've done in a real sketchbook on real paper. I used to take like a little A5 sketchbook into work, and when it was quiet in the office, I literally would bring a pencil, an ink pen, and 2 Copic marker greys. And when it was quiet in the office, I would bring up a picture of a monster from One Punch Man, because the artwork's insane. And I would just sit there on my little sketchbook and I'd draw them out. Do I still have that? Wow, I just found my Draw Simple Easy sketchbook. Here we go. So, like, drawing hot babes. One sec, I'll just change the scene really quickly. Drawing hot babes in digital is one thing. Oh, this was a proper sketchbook, sorry. I thought it was going to go straight to monsters. But sitting and just filling up a sketchbook page, so none of this is my design. As you could tell, like, I did my work very quickly in my office. I had a lot of spare time. But I used to just, every single day, I would try to get one of these done by the end of the day. I think it was like for Inktober. But sitting there and filling in inking over your pencil work to sketch up, like, what you can. And then, like, just having 2 key Copic markers to do, like, the light greys and the soft greys. You burn around. Ah, takes me back. There's that hot mosquito lady who comes back. Mate, that was what Mikey likey. So that feeling, zoning out and playing with your sketchbook, you can't beat that feeling. I'm going to be real. But you can get close. You can get close. Yeah, no, I love doing studies of shit that I love. I used to... So some of my first ever... I wouldn't call them like breakout videos, but some of my first properly popular videos on YouTube before I actually started making drawing tutorials, back when I was just doing games but also making art videos. I used to do watercolor and ink studies from Vagabond. And I was, because I've got like because I'm an OG guy, I've got like the really small manga tankobons from the old print, so I don't have like the big nice westernized books. So I used to have the tiny book and I tried to draw it out in a A3 sketchbook, really, really big, and then ink them and stuff. That was how I just used to spend my days coming back from work. See ya, Andre. Have a good one. It's like you also animated the show. How dare you? Which part of the show, Solid Wings? Solid Wings, that is either a compliment or a backhanded slap in the face. Which season? Dang, it's almost like you animated the show. Which season of the show, you son of a bitch? Do you draw an iPad? If you do you enjoy it more than a tablet? So Stitch, I have an iPad. I got it years ago to do an art review, and then I forgot that I owned it. And one of my moderators had to remind me that I owned it the day before we went to Japan, the year before last, I think, or last year. So I got an Apple Pencil, and I got a really good screen protector. And then I think I tried using Procreate for 2 minutes, and I was just like, oh, this is going to involve some getting used to. Because going from a drawing tablet here in Photoshop to an iPad in Procreate, different tool. It does not transfer. You have to get used to the feeling and how that works and its nuances. So I haven't yet. However, there is a illustrator called Cara who does very gorgeous, very stylized character portraits, often of elf characters, on her iPad. And she has a course, and I'm very much considering buying her course and giving it a go. Because all the techniques she uses I understand, but the nuances I don't. I know she's doing these color layers, I know she's like multiplying, but the iPad has a very particular blending option that Photoshop does not do as well without crashing my PC. And so a lot of iPad artists sort of scribble in areas, then blend them out. So I feel like learning that technique would be key to making very good art, but I'm not there yet. But I want to get there, because it means when I go traveling, I don't have to take a tablet and a laptop with me. I can just bring my iPad and become the traveling illustrator I dreamed of when I was 14. I love this drawing, Mikey. I love your attitude, Livy. Which artist? Cara. She's also a live streamer. Does anybody know how to? Does anybody in my chat know how to spell Cara? I think it's all one word now. I'll risk it. I don't think that's it. I'm going to be honest. Where does that link take you? Don't click it yet. Oh, that's them. That's them. Yeah, click that link. Click that link. She streams her stuff. It's incredible. And she just puts all these really funky angles into all these gorgeous characters. And all of this is iPad Procreate. And so, like, as you can probably imagine, I'm not going to quite hit her standard of art. But she uses that iPad really fucking well. And if I was ever going to learn off of anyone, it would be like probably her or another illustrator called Ricky, called Ricky. Oh fuck, what's her stream name? Anyway, there's a couple people whose work is really cool. So like, again, I don't want to sound like an elitist. If you are anybody who is trying to create something that encourages somebody else to be creative, you instantly have a bit of respect from me. However, I'm also very picky, and I don't want to learn how to draw from somebody who isn't doing drawings that I want to draw. Does that make any sense? And I don't mean in terms of subject matter, like, oh, this person only draws, like, you know, cats and people in raincoats. I want to draw titties. But the quality of their work and the style of their work, that has to speak to me first before I would want them to be my teacher. So I had sort of, because a lot of the people whose work I love use Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop. Well, I already know how to use Photoshop, and I'm going to learn how to use Clip Studio Paint. Sims Art's a great one for Clip. So there's a lot of people who are like, oh, wait, just use an iPad. If you've got an iPad, use it. And it's like, I'm kind of like, I want to find someone who motivates me to draw the way they draw. And recently, that's probably been Cara. I've tried to do that, but I work in customer service. I only have a short time before a person walks up. Keem, I've been like that as well. I used to keep back in my day, dude, we used to have the receipts for when you would actually put someone's credit card in a machine and go, "Dunk, dunk." So it like rolled a copy of their credit card number onto a physical receipt. When I used to work at a till, mate, I'd always get loads of spare copies, and on the back I'd draw spaceships. And whenever somebody walked up the till, I'd slip it like under the till and shit. I know what that's like, mate. I've been there.
He must be a Fremen.
Oh.
Or in with them. He's studying us.
Oh, SD Kenji. Well, well, well. Welcome on in, Raiders. Yo, how you doing, man? Major Notion and SD Kenji. Hello there, brother. What are you up to? How was your stream? What have you been up to? Good afternoon, good sir. Dude, if you are already friends with me, you know my memory sucks. And if not, then this isn't going to offend you. Am I following you? Let me just double check. Oh shit, have I been in your stream before? Your work's gorgeous. No, I'm not following you. Let me solve that right now, big man. Oh damn, yo, what do you make like VTuber models?
If I'm not super mistaken, this was
That's what SD Kenji sounds like, by the way. He's a wonderful tiny Asian girl. I was 3D modeling a VTuber for most of the stream. Yeah, VTuber or VR. Yo, hey dude, that's fucking dope. Hey, thank you very much for coming in. Is there anything that you would like to as long as it's safe for work? Is there anything that you would like to share? We'll we can stick it in chat. We'll get you a permit if so. Okay, and seeing as you're a professional with a keen eye, do you think I have made this white enough to imply that she's wearing some sort of skin-tight top and doesn't have bare boobs out? I'm trying to make stuff safer for YouTube. But it's a rigmarole. Also, yeah, what software do you use? We're talking softwares at the moment. Think of opening my own Patreon for comics and adding full versions and erotic art with characters. Do you think there'll be much support for such a Patreon? Mark, on its own, no, none at all. Patreon is a great way to, like, you know, provide your art and, like, specific stuff to, like, your close crew of members who support you and all that sort of stuff. But Patreon on its own will get you no members. You have to find an audience, dude, on another platform first, get people into what you're doing, then do exactly what you've said and be like, but guys, I've got a Patreon. If any of you wants to come drop a few dollars my way, it really supports me and you get cool stuff in return. But your audience has to happen first. Patreon is not known for discoverability. I use Blender mostly. I knew I liked you. Or she's got some strange stone lines. You show your face. Yeah, dude, go for it. Go for it. We'll give you a permit when you're ready. Yeah, so welcome on in SD Kenji's community. My name is Mikey. I'm an illustrator for England. I'm just going through some old artwork and adding more implied clothing. But generally, we play video games and DOS and chat and draw waifus and chat some more and DOS some more. And we watch Star Trek TNG on Monday nights. If any of you guys are like old nerds, come hang out for Monday Night Star Trek. 5 PM Eastern. Olivia, you sold yours. Oh, damn. So what are you doing at the moment? I think it's Andre who is getting a new drawing tablet, right? What have you got? I've been trying to learn Maya. Exodus, I only just a couple weeks ago was corrected by some of you guys. I thought Autodesk and Maya were like, you know, dead. I thought they'd gone away of a dinosaur. I thought nobody was using that. And everybody was using Unity, Unreal 5 and RE Engine. But apparently Maya and similar, Maya and 3ds Max are still used a lot in film production. Does anybody know if that's true? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some lines on this to imply outfit seams, and I'll see if that seems to help. I might use a tiny DG main square. Let's go size 6. This file's a bit bigger than I thought it was. Let's go size 10. Cinema 4D. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention it. I'm always interested in film production, but I don't actually know film production. I just have a few gleams of insights. I used to know a makeup artist in British telly. And, oh no, I better not tell that story, actually. Sorry, I don't know anyone. Cinema 4D is for a lot of motion graphics and smaller scale projects. Sam knows. I found my models of Project Melody, Snuffy or Tricky Wee. If you recognise any of them... No, sorry mate, I'm a heterosexual. But I'll give you a permit and feel free to post whichever one is safest for work. Let's do permits. SD... NG... Can I show a link for something that I created in Procreate? Yeah, if it's safe for work, just give me a minute. Oh shit! SD Kenji, thank you so much for the raid. Now, please understand I say this with love when I say, fuck you, man. Fuck you. That's so good. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. I'll give you a follow on Twitter. Fuck you. Dude, how long did that take? Oh, you're a piece of shit. Sorry. But also, actually, no, fuck you. That's really cool. That's really fucking cool. Hey, thanks for sharing, man. Yo, how long did that take? Hey, Spirit. No, Spirit, it's still me, Spirit. It's Mikey. I promise, this isn't a cry for help. There aren't armed men in my room. It's worse than that. There's armed people affecting my payouts. I must add clothing, Spirit. This is the new future. Don't look at me! Don't look at me! I don't want you to see me this way. I'm putting clothes on my characters. No! No! That was last year's Halloween model. About a few weeks. It can take you between 50 to 100 hours. Oh, thank God. I'm so glad you said that. I used to do drawings. Like, I did a lot of it live streaming, so I spend a lot of time yapping. But for me, drawings would be like 24 to 36 hours. And I've finally started to get it down to like 20 plus hours, like 20 to 24. And then recently now I've embraced being a lot more sketchy and loose and focusing on the idea more than the rendering, you know, for social media. Because rendering is ultimately a waste of time depending on what you want from an image. So now I'm getting down to like, you know, 16 to 20. But even then, like if I want to go back to a proper piece and take my time over it, I take my time. Damn, that's really fucking good. Way, there goes the bazookas. They're going. Oh, Stitch. Yeah. Stitch, I'll give you a permit as well. One sec. You ready, boy? Mikey, have you ever tried 3D art? If so, which programs? No, Vpron. So, something that's very, very common with 2D artists and illustrators like myself who draw character stuff, but every now and then also want to do compositions in environments. We all say the same thing, and what we say is, one day, I'm going to learn the basics of Blender. Now, this is a lie that we tell ourselves, because that day never comes, because there's no spare time when you're working. But we love fantasizing about it. Man, I have fantasized about one day learning the basics of Blender so I can do simple compositions to help me with perspective and stuff. Oh boy. Oh, I love talking about that. Never happens. Never happens. Dude, I can teach you if you want. The basics of Blender. Waste of time, mate. I'm never gonna get around to it. Thank you for wanting to help me, but dude, save yourself. Here, Stitch, just have a look. I can tell you I've been modeling for 5 years and I only know half a program. So I remember Blender back in my day with like the donut tutorial, and like you could make a coruscating explosion flame wave effect, which made me think I was literally an animator for one day. And I hear that Blender today, like they obviously kept going, and I hear now it's like insanely good. Oh, Stitch, these are gorgeous. Oh, who's the girl? Stitch. Who's the hottie? There's a particular lady you like, Stitch. Also, nice free ren. Also, insane texture details, dude, on the clothing. That's fucking awesome with that bounce light coming up. Holy shit. And y'all be out here. Y'all be out here doing your things. Thank you for sharing. By the way, SD, if you need to go have a wee and live your life and be free of this cursed earth, I don't blame you. But thanks for popping in, man. Easter obligations, yo! I was asking earlier who was celebrating, or like who has family or friends of family, etc. Yo, have a good one, man. Happy Easter, brother. "5 years of learning Blender just so he could come into my stream and show off insane quality model artwork. What a piece of shit." No, great stuff, great stuff. Uber! Uber is just subscriber prime. Uber freak, yo, that is very handsome of you. Thank you for paying me with Jeff Bezos's money. That's good, that is. Are you aware that you can now download my art for free in Discord? But as a sub perk in the subs room, but every time I add something new, I delete something old. So get it before it's gone. And thank you for supporting your boy. Your little boy, Mikey. Papa, is that you? Pap, pap. Goodbye, pap, pap. Jesus, no, Mikey. Damn. Cheers, brother. Those classic 3D artists. I've got more. You fuck off. Excuse me. No, but if you've got like another turnaround link or something to another model, let me know and I'll drop you a perma. Oh, hell yeah. All right, one sec. Go on and hit us up, seeing as your quality level's so high. Blender is very complex. Damn. What are your PC specs? Vipron, you haven't even bought me dinner. What are your PC specs? It's none of your fucking business, thank you very much. Holy shit. No, I'm just kidding. I think I have a command for that. Not on YouTube, sadly. Is it for bad boy or for big boy? So the computer on which I would be doing the actual work, because I've got a working streaming PC, and then I've got the PC that does the thing. So like right now you're watching Photoshop on my working PC, but I'm talking to you on my streaming PC. So my working PC is a Intel i9 139K threaded core with a 4070 Ti card, which I think has 8 and or 16 gig of VRAM, 4 terabyte solid state drives, and 64 gig of onboard computer RAM. Do you mean a what? Do you mean 130? Do you mean a 13,900K? I do mean a 13,900K. Thanks for asking. Adam, cheers for vibing, dude. Back when I did character art, the pipeline would be back and forth between Maya and ZBrush, and then a rendering app. Yeah, as far as, so like, Adam, before you go, well, if you've gone, then good night, because you can't hear me. But before you go, Adam, are you familiar with somebody called Andrew Hodgson? He's a hard surface modeler, and he's made, like, he makes a lot of assets for film. So, like, he's worked on, like, the Dune movies and stuff. He modeled the Harkonnen Spice Harvesters. But he sort of does a little back and forth fiddling between stuff as well. Not too much, but a little. It heats the room quite nice. Ah, Dr. Mark knows. The K stands for Kelm. I like that. I've not heard that before. All right. Yeah, so Vipron, I would hope that my computer can handle some Blender stuff. I ended up getting a 5060 card. But instead of upgrading that to where my 4070 Ti is, they actually perform similar enough. It wasn't worth taking it out. I put my 5060 into my streaming PC so that OBS wasn't throttling every single thing that I was doing. And it's allowed me to multi-stream. That's why now, a lot of you have probably noticed I'm streaming live on the Mikey Mega Live channel instead of just exporting my Twitch videos to the Mikey Mega Live channel afterwards. And that's thanks to you guys supporting me to get better technology to annoy you guys more by being online more in other platforms and areas. So if anything, it's your fault if you don't like anything you see. Also, I appreciate it massively. Now, this doesn't look great, but the question is will it convince a piece of AI that there's some sort of implied clothing? And really, I've had my fun. And that's all that matters. I've had my fun. And that's all that matters. Does anybody have any idea what that's from? I'm sure nobody will. It's so specific. Oh, I see you jumping up and down. See you jumping up and down on my portrait again. Aye, I've had my fun. And that's all that matters. Grocery bags can break the algorithm. Oh, what, just throwing in stuff like that really messes it up how it reads an image. Also, thank you for the follow. Hello, welcome. I don't know Andrew, I'm afraid. Sorry, Adam, have I just done that thing where you're just like, when you visit another country, and you go, hi, I'm from England, and they all go, wow, do you know the Queen? And it's like, well, I don't know her personally, I'm afraid. You're just like, hey, I'm also into 3D art. And I'm like, wow, do you know this person? Actually, Mikey, there's quite a lot of us around the world. We don't all know each other. Sorry, mate. The only reason I ask that is because he's also streams sometimes. So he's on the scene, if that makes sense. Vitaly Bulgarov was a favourite of mine when I did 3D. Don't know if he's still around. Good night, buddy. Good night, man. Have a good one. I'll Google him later. So all the waifus should be shopping on YouTube. Hell yeah, question mark. Not knowing, but yes, maybe. That's how I'll draw them going on. They'll all be shopping. I once actually genuinely tried to give a character like a nice outfit. I did a Rani the Witch fan art. And I was just going to like go my usual boobalacious manner. But I saw some really good photography of like this Japanese lady in some sort of like gold dress fit, and I was just like, oh, I want to do that. It was a rare moment where I just saw an outfit and I was like, I really want to do a study of that outfit, as opposed to I really want to make this character naked. Source link for science. A Varani image. I'll just show you right now. The photography was just literally a random thing in my Twitter feed. But the gold dress had like really nice bounce. LMNOPQR. Here we go. So because I was focusing on the outfit, it ended up being like nothing that I normally do in my style. But it was just this lady holding like a Chanel bag or a Gucci bag or something with this white shirt and gold dress. And I was just like, okay, I desire to do that, because it had this warm bounce light that really described it really nicely. Way back in the day. Do you remember back when Elden did a ring? I'm still technically in my second Elden Ring playthrough, which I absolutely fucking loved. I really enjoyed half of my first playthrough as well, but only half.
Very cool, way to go.
Yo! Mark does stuff for MRK. Mr. K? Yo, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for subbing. You handsome man, you vital, delicious rogue. Go look in the mirror. You've become more attractive. You've gone from a 8 to a 9. Well done. And you can also now download my art for free in Discord. My way of saying thank you to subscribers. But be warned, whenever something new goes in, I delete something old. So get it before it's gone. But if you're in the mood for spicy waifus, cheers for supporting your boy. Yeah, how you doing, man? Happy Sunday. Yeah, I really liked my Elden Ring second playthrough. I've just because I played the game better. But my first play at launch, I loved the first half, right up until I'd basically spec'd my build badly enough that it caught up with me with the difficulty curve of the enemies. And then it just turned into a Souls grind nightmare, which I was not adapting to. But I'm still technically in the second playthrough. We got up to... I think we did like Godric and all of that. I had like a Ghost Rani help me. No, Ghost Melania help me? Whichever one, you know. Marika? Whichever one. But I did Golden Godric and all that sort of stuff. And then I went up the mountain and I killed the last of the giants. For I am the last of the giants and this is the last of my song. etc. And then I hopped into, that was about the time the Shadow of the Erdtree came out. So after I did the giant, I then did an insane amount of leveling up. Does anybody know that really good place to level up? Which I think is in the underground area. And it's like this little just ramp verge next to a cliff edge. And it's just full of these boys. Does anybody recognize these boys? From Elden Ring. They just sit there. But they've got really big dark eyes. And there's like there's like 50 of them. And it's right by a save point. And if you massacre these passive guys, if you like go on a pogrom and you cull this species out of existence, you get shitloads of upgrade points. Man, I was doing weird shit. I was not a good person. Yeah. So I did, and that's why I did it. So I destroyed those boys a lot in my spare time offline, so that when I came back online, we could do Mog or Moog. Did Moog, and like I tried Moog before I'd been upgrading, so I'd learnt a lot of his pattern, and we went back with once I'd really beefed up. And I'd actually basically over-leveled because we did Moog like second time round, and I was just kind of like, oh shit. And then with that confidence, like I think a lot of other people, I then entered the Shadow of the Erdtree part of the map. And instantly got hardcore humbled once again by a Souls game. An immediate humbling. That one ghost knight that's in a dungeon right at the beginning in the middle of a field tomb. Avoiding the giant flaming wicker man, and then going up into the castle and trying to defeat Renalia, the twin blades or whatever. Oh. And then I put it down, and then we played some other games, and I was happy again. So I love Elden Ring, and I've technically beaten Elden Ring once in my first playthrough, although actually I needed 2 members of my community to go online and actually join my fight and help me defeat the final boss. And I don't care, that's good enough for me, because I enjoyed the multiplayer. But yeah, my second game is still technically in situ. Oh, Watson the Great with Prime! By Jove, open the hatch, good sir. What year is this? Watson, we've done it! Yo, thank you very much for priming your boy, man. I love primers. Why? Because they're paying me with Jeff Bezos' money. Jeff, money-grubbing, sticky fingers, nightmare overlord, worst working conditions. Billions comes at the cost and suffering of millions, Bezos. You've paid me his money out of his pocket. Thank you. And I don't know if you heard me saying earlier, dude, but you can now download my art for free in Discord. But always make sure you keep an eye on it, because whenever something new goes in, I delete the old stuff. It's my way of saying thank you. It's a bit like being on my Patreon. Thank you, mate. And welcome. Play Night Rain. Oh, by the way, so Andre, did you get your tablet in the end, dude? So yeah, that's why I didn't play Night Rain. I was actually quite close to giving that a go, because 2 of my mods were getting into it. And I was just kind of like, my relationship with Elden Ring, like, you know, I feel really positively towards Elden Ring. But, like, you've got to be in the mood for Elden Ring, I find, personally. And I was just like, I just don't think I'm going to get into Night Rain right now. I was vibing something else. Okay, I'm gonna see if that becomes a problem or a solution when we eventually do some other videos. We'll see if that sets anything off. This is still a bit willy-nilly. I'm hoping it's going to recognize that these are pasties and not nipples, but you never really know what the AI thinks it's looking at. It's really good now, but That doesn't mean that YouTube's one is really good. I might just dial this up a bit. It's not just a hue thing, right? It's like a color stuff. Virian, did the algorithm accept other chicks you dressed up? We don't know yet, dude. Because the thing is right now, I'm literally zooming in on boobs all day. So all of these videos will be demonetized. It's when I do a different piece of artwork, if it's not necessarily boob intensive, we will see if that also gets demonetized from what's going on down there. Because the reason I noticed it was clearly becoming a problem is I was just doing a meme cartoon of Leon from RE9. And that instantly got demonetized even quicker than other streams. Because the algorithm just ignored the cartoon because it understood what it was looking at and just focused hard on the box down there. I say algorithm, I mean... I don't know what I mean. Fuck knows what they're using these days. Do you reckon I should make this a touch more saturated? I made this really bright and pale on purpose. I don't know if it's my hue on it. She looks really low sat, but her skin tone's quite warm. I think it's because I made everything so bright by the face. That's probably just it. Also, did somebody in chat ask me how I got it grainy? I'm so sorry. I think I was in the middle of talking something. But somebody might have asked how I got this grain effect on my art. Just let me know, and I'll it's very simple. I'll tell you, but let me know. One sec. It's got to delete more bots on Kick. Oh my god, I didn't look at Kick for 5 minutes. There's like 10 different bots in there. Fucking hell. There you go. Mog's Palace, yeah. That reminds me, I've got to get Twitch on my TV. Oh, damn. Technology, huh? Cherokee, yo, welcome back, dude. What's good? What's good, man? It's almost summertime. It's almost bikini time. Unfortunately, bro, we are anti-bikining. I am dressing my ladies up, not dressing them down for once. But I think we all know why. Oh, Schiller's Ghost. Sorry, dude. Yeah, so it's a filter. I'm on Photoshop. So there's two things that you can do. You can... I don't have that file up anymore. You can basically apply a special layer effect that gives off the effect of like working on like paper texture, like a kind of watercolor grain. I'll show you another time. But in terms of just doing my artwork, what I do is like, do I have like a full screen version of... I don't think I do. I'm just going to give you my BRB screen because I think that shows the full thing because I never like did it. Oh yeah, here we go. Ignore the giant Mikey Mega Mega. Everyone's got one of those in their Photoshop, right? Basically, when I've got a flat copy of it, I go up to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. And what that does is it basically like jumbles up the pixels. And if you zoom in, you can see that actually all these pixels are different colors. But all of these colors average out to the color that you're painting with. And they are all the same value. So if I made this image black and white, all of that grain would actually disappear. It doesn't affect like your visual read of it. But adding that grain just can really make your stuff pop. Is the color red a magic color? No, it's horrible. Mikey, yes I did. I told you. I need to buy an adapter. Because I can't have my two monitors. Sorry. Obviously I know that you said that earlier. But I just kind of never got round to following up with you. Because you were like, Mikey, my tablet's coming. I'm getting a tablet soon. I was like, okay, great. But then I was like, yo, did you ever get it? I'm on Night Rain, but I have no one to play with. Want to share a Photoshop trick? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Mama YouTube said, draw some clothes on that girl before we go to bed. So is that grain an overlay, or is it a filter added to the base color layers? So what you want to do, dude, is you want to flatten that layer. So like, when you're done with your Photoshop image, create a new layer, Control Shift Alt E. So or just you know, create a merged copy, and it's when you've got a whole flat single layer, then apply the filter to that flat finished layer. So doing a grain filter is usually one of, if not the very last thing I will do to a piece of art. I'll play around with the brightness and contrast and the levels with a flat copy, which I'm about to do now. But you only noise when you're done. Anyway, hue saturation maybe. A little bit of saturation. Damn, I think that might actually make it much stronger. Yeah, I think I might have overpaled the OG release, or I'm currently on a Huion tablet, which is a little bit bluer and desaturated compared to this monitor. It's more in line with this monitor, and I keep the monitors a little bit different so that I don't work oversaturated here to produce art that's undersaturated when other people look at it. Because everybody's phone or their own PC or their own device or their own iPad will have a slightly different color profile. So your art never truly looks exactly the same as what you've done and what you've made. So I try to compensate from that, and I try to like... I'd rather have the art be a bit warmer when you see it than a bit undersaturated when you see it. Ideally, it would just be exactly the same. But the world doesn't work like that. Okay, yo, let's save that image. That's another waifu done in record time. That only took me all night. Also, yo, cheers. Hi, thanks for the follow. Hello. So here's our dumpy elf priestess. Save the Photoshop file, because I don't know for a fact that all of this is going to work, so I might need to come back to them. But we'll also save a flat. God, they're so safe now, all my waifus. I've never felt this safe before in my life. I'm such a fan. I hope to draw better Guna art. Chihiro Bug, hell yeah, brother. Oh, hey, Sir Andre. How you doing, man? Oh, there's 3 more of the exact same bots. Why would you use bots to spam an account to advertise your bots? You've literally just made me hate you. Oh, the colours are how you're compensating. Wait, Bill. What are we saying? Careful. Perfect, thanks a lot. No, it's a great question. I'm sorry, I sort of like, because I'm sort of looking at a few different screens and words tumble out my mouth. Sometimes I see something and I'm like, oh, that's a great question. But by the time I'm done talking, I've stopped processing that. When you go to View, Proof Setup, Custom, and go to 20% grey, then when you Control Y, you can make your drawing black and white. But the colours are there to check the value of the light. Oh, Stitch, I do that. So to check values, I actually do something else altogether, dude. Do you know how I was just showing you my Photoshop? I don't know if you were here like 10 minutes ago. But my Photoshop folders that I pre-make, my Photoshop file, I should say, that I pre-make for most of my artwork, has a layer in it. Now, this does not technically get you perfectly true value, but it's close enough. I have a layer in it, dude, where the topmost layer is black, but it sits there as a hue layer. So whenever I'm working and I need to just double check my values really quickly, instead of going through that process, I literally just turn on the black layer on and off real quick. And as you can see here, there is not a huge amount of contrast in this image. your highest contrast area is actually just the boob shadow over the metal and under the chin and very little else. So this image is not amazing in terms of like popping key areas. But when it's in color, I don't care. She works just fine. Do you prefer Huion to Wacom and XP Pen? Coco Cosmo, I do use a Huion at the moment because this tablet is the most ideal one I've come across so far. Huion and XP Pen are both very, very good. And very, like, the difference between them and Wacom gets tighter and tighter. Wacom's overall standard and quality and pen-to-screen feeling is still pretty much the top of its game. Wacom's value for money is fucking awful. And their customer service is famously poor. I've had them try to convince me before that I didn't have a problem with a product until I explained to them that I review tablets for a living and I know what I'm talking about. And then they would like escalate the fact that my pen was broken and shit. Wacom are very difficult to love. Wacom are a Japanese company, and Japanese companies are friends to allied countries like the UK and America. So all big government contracts which involve tablet screens, Wacom is going to get that contract automatically. So Wacom do not need to sell their products to individual suppliers that much. They don't need to care. They just need to be the industry standard. Whereas XP Pen and Huion are Chinese competitive brands who work very hard to be a better choice to an individual private consumer by being more cost effective, improving their technology to be very, very close to Wacom's to the point that it's indistinguishable in some areas and be better value for money. But Wacom and XP Pen are still, in terms of that, below. Sorry, XP Pen and Huion are still below Wacom in terms of that pinnacle, but they're very close and they are way cheaper. So I tend not to recommend Wacom products simply because if you're on a budget, that's not good value for money. If you are working professionally in an industry, yeah, you might want to actually do that investment for sure. Huion are probably my favorite. Wacom and XP Pen are probably just behind. But those three brands are the three brands that I tend to recommend. There's a few other good Chinese brands out there that are getting better and better. But the thing is that they are still never as good as just getting an XP Pen or a Huion. Let's hope AI is not looking at the values. Oh God, don't say that. Don't say that, Schiller's Ghost. So don't get a Wacom. Got it. Well, Wacom are great. I've got a couple Wacom tablets in my cupboard, which will be part of the giveaway. So having said that, even though I've just been like besmirching them, I've actually got some Wacom drawing tablets that I will be giving away in a live stream on the main Mikey Mega channel, which I will kind of do to celebrate being back after I've done a month of tutorials and I am technically back. So they're very expensive, but you can get one for free if you hang out in the right live stream. I'll post it to any country I'm allowed to post it to. So it's worldwide, but like, I don't know if I'd be able to send it to like Iran or Russia or something. Depends on the intent, but what's your default working resolution? Virion, 3000 by 5000 pixels at 350 dpi. That is the sort of minimum for me making a lot of art content online, but would also work well as a nice print. For a lot of like web-based stuff, it's still good enough. If there was a client who wanted an actual poster or a product image for a game, I would work much bigger, much bigger. Right, guys, sorry, I've just been talking my ass off. Before we do another lady, I'm just going to go and grab a snack. And I'll be back with you. So if you're on Twitch, I'm going to hit you with an ad break. And I'll be back in a couple minutes with a fresh cup of tea, I think. One quick sec, you gorgeous people. What of Nigeria? If I'm able to post anything to Nigeria, then Nigeria as well. Like, basically, if you live in England, right, and I say I want to post a letter to Nigeria, if she's like, okay, it costs this much, then it's fine. It's mostly, I think, dude, countries who are at war, and particularly countries who are at war and not friends of England. So, like, I don't think I'm allowed to post to Russia at the moment because they're at war with Ukraine. I don't think I'm allowed to post to Iran and some other places. But other than that, it's worldwide. Are you paying for an Adobe subscription? Yeah, Zordin, I am. And I'm not proud of it. I talk often about moving to Clip Studio Paint. I don't actually love or promote Adobe. I'm just very, very used to Photoshop. Unless Adobe wants to pay me some money, in which case I love them and their products and their network and their support and the full suite of their top-end software. Alright, where's my face cam? Right, see you in a sec. I love Adobe. Oh, yeah, dude, I say that about every XP Pen tablet, Solid Wings. XP Pen tablets are a little bit behind Huion in terms of, like, the overall quality and use, but they are still right up there as a brand that I would recommend. Like, if you're just like, I'm buying a tablet, I would say Huion and XP Pen. Stick there, and you won't go far wrong. But XP Pen tablets color calibration when they come out of the box is atrocious. They're still living in that, you know, 140% Adobe RGB flex that other people have slowly realized is actually unhelpful for artists. So they like to dial their tablets up really hot and bright and saturated, and that's literally means that you're making a piece of artwork that looks nothing like the art you're seeing on the screen in front of you. Easily solved, but like you have to be aware that you have to solve it before you start using it.
Very cool, way to go!
Hiya.
Ew, how you doing? Right, I've actually just reheated. I had quite a lot of my tea left. I'd been ignoring it whilst we were talking. Gonna have some chocolate biscuits with my tea. And I've got a banana here. Yo, what video games is everybody playing at the moment? I'm going to take a little break from Crimson Desert, I think, soon. In fact, I might be on that break right now. We've played that game for about 30 hours. And it really is so big and awesome now that they made it good. But I think what I might do is kind of like do like a really intensive week every now and then, just across the year. Still focusing on the main plot as much as possible to unlock the main point of the game. But I'm sure they're going to have like updates by this time next year with more adventures and stuff. So I'd like to just like play some other things, knowing that we can come back to Crimson Desert whenever. But I want there to be a bit of a break of me playing a really long-term sandbox game. Because I want to be fresh and hungry for playing Dune again. Dune Awakening's a banger. Hello, Mikey. I remember watching your tutorials after finding them on Pinterest. Oh, damn! How you doing, man? Welcome on in. That was probably quite a while ago, though, dude. How you getting on? You still creative? Have you got cheesecake? Holy shit. I was getting the Artist Pro 24 Gen 2. I think I've literally got one of those right there. Is that the one, dude, which got like a... It's not like it's not like a light movable tablet like this. It's got the really big screen, and then it's got a whole load of like slate surface area. Because it's a proper drafting tablet that, you know, you sit up to on a high chair. Is that the one? Yeah, I did a review of that. I don't know if I ever published the review. Oh, God. I must have. Oh, shit. One sec. That should be literally the last thing I ever posted on my main channel was a really old XP Pen review. And if not, God save my soul. Oh, I never published it! No! My last review was for the Huey on Canvas Pro 19 4K. Oh! Oh my God, no wonder XP Pen don't talk to me anymore. Ah! Okay, fuck. Overall, I think my summary, dude, was it's a bit too much tablet for me. But once you calibrate the screen, having that big draftman space is like being a very different kind of illustrator. You are a very serious boy with that big tablet. Oh, fuck, what's that? I've got a UG tablet review that I was working on. Oh no! XP Pen Artist Pro 24 Generation 2. From 2024! Still oh my God! Oh fuck, I'm gonna get sued. Well, guys, do you want to be the first to see my review? Seeing as you've asked for my opinion on that tablet, I literally have a full review video here. Unreleased. Oh my God. Fuck. Okay, if I put that into my big boy folder, which is the name of the big boy PC, can I see it from here?
artwork, critiques, Photoshop files, and reference sheets are all available on my Patreon.
Welcome
to
I never released
review
this!
XP Pen Artist Pro 24 Generation 2 Graphics Drawing Tablet.
I'm gonna be
those lovely
sued!
people over at XP Pen said, Mikey, if we send you our massive Artist Pro 24 drawing tablet, would you like to make a review? And so I dusted off some cobwebs and said yes, as long as you don't mind my objective opinions. So if you are curious about this tablet for yourself, the links of course are in the description below, and this is what you can expect in a post. A massive, vibrant, display-ready box with some nice art and a turquoise color theme, with the back of the tablet displayed on the back. Very clever. And only some very brief bits of further information.
By the way, you don't
around
get
the
this from
edge
anyone
that
else.
opens up to
You've come
reveal
into
some
my
black
stream
foam
and you've asked
padding
my
with a
opinion
colour
about a
calibration
tablet.
report, and then the plastic
Who
wrap
else
of the
answers your
tablet
question
screen
with a
itself
custom
sits inside of a
video?
29-inch diameter slate monitor housing, which I'll discuss more when I'm not having to hold it. Then further padding layers come away to give us the rest of the kit. You get a warranty card and a multi-language quick start booklet, which of course I'll never read, a branded microfiber cleaning cloth for the screen, a drawing glove, also with the XP Pen logo.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it, Nathan. I'm gonna drop it and I'm not gonna email them.
Transferring any schmutz, a plastic sealed XP Pen stylus case, which is weighted, dark, and stylishly displays two of their drawing tablet pens, along with nibs and some other bits that we'll explore shortly.
Oh, I see
Then a
sticks, I
power
see.
adapter to go
Cool.
alongside your plug socket and cables. And although mine comes with European and UK free pin variations, your tablet of course will come with the specific plugs to match your country of purchase. Then we have the USB-C connection lead, a backplate for the tablet screen, and then you have both some DisplayPort connection leads and HDMI leads, depending on your computer's preference.
And
to
said
get the
yes.
plug. Then in a
Would you like to
further
review it? I
cardboard
said yes,
plastic
but
sleeve,
no
you
one
have
will
the
ever.
XP Pen Remote Shortcut Express keys, which is a sleek bit of kit to act in place of your most common drawing tablet shortcut
Yeah,
buttons,
we're
as
gonna-
well as the USB connection lead. And
we're
then
gonna put
after
that one
giving
out
the
there.
box a quick shake, there's a pen clip holder included as well. So this is everything you
Henry,
can
did I ever
straight
tell
out
you
of the
about my
box.
Madagascan
There's the
hissing
24-inch
cockroaches?
Artist Pro itself, the color calibration report, quick start
Sometimes
guide,
you just gotta
warranty
quietly
policy, European and UK
put it out
plugs,
there.
the power adapter, drawing tablet glove, XP Pen's remote express keypad, connection lead, stylus pen holder, removable tablet backplate, the pair of digital pens in their case, HDMI and DisplayPort connection leads, screen cleaning cloth, USB-C cable, and even more spare nibs. That's quite a
I
good
think-
bit of some very nice and
I think the
well-presented
background
kit.
music
And a tablet screen this big really
is
is
too
a bit
high
of a
in the
statement
mix.
piece that thankfully
Don't
comes
you?
with a built-in full-on adjustable stand, because it means you can
Just
sit
needs
up
to go
nice
down a
and
little
high
bit.
to look over it as a draftsman, or have it in a much more upright position depending on your posture needs for someone like me, as my personal pet peeve is that some tablets only come with very shallow legs that make you lean right over to draw on them, which is no good for your back. And this tablet sits very securely on the desk thanks to some big rubber grips. It has the power and brightness adjustment buttons on the top right hand edge of the tablet.
Your hand
with
is so
slots
young.
near the end of either side where you can pop in that rubber holder to store your pen. So just plug in that power adapter, and on the rear of the tablet all of the cables and leads plug in from
I
the
hate you
direction of
guys.
the center towards the edge, with the power, USB, DisplayPort and HDMI, along with an audio jack port that all feed through some plastic supports, which is always great to see on a tablet, as they always get moved around a little bit more than a monitor will. Then it's just a case of downloading the appropriate driver from the XP Pen website and installing it before you're good to go.
I wish I could have a
here's the
24
tablet
Pro.
in
It's too
a fairly
expensive.
medium
I got one right here
workspace
for
like
it.
my own,
I'll be
and
giving it away
mentioned
to one of you
really
guys in a
is
giveaway one day.
statement piece that says some serious art and drafting is going to be happening right here. The 24-inch screen comes with plenty of extra surface
If you
space
get
around
sued,
the
bribe
edges,
them.
and all of it sits underneath a smooth single plane of textured laminated glass. Although when you do sit
Yeah,
it up
Dempsey, just a
fully,
little too
it
much.
still falls short of a full-on 90 degrees upright. Now, despite the color calibration report, XP Pen screen colors are always
still
a
have
little
this
bit
tablet?
hot, bright, and
Yeah, it's
rich
right over there.
when they come out of the
How much you want
box.
for it?
So
Not
in
selling
the
it, mate.
display settings, I took it off the 6500K temperature value, and under the equal RGB user settings, just dropped the red down by 1 or 2 and reduced the overall brightness a little so that the appearance of my artwork better matched my other screen and tablet devices. The hard shell weighted pen case has a semi-opaque lid and rubber grips on the bottom, opening up to display the dual styli variants with the spare nibs and other bits very nicely. There's a metal hole for catching and pinching out the nibs of your pen if you need to change them, and a larger hole on the end that acts as an upright stand. The thinner of these two is their X3 Pro Slim, which is very light with a plastic and rubber or silica gel grip, and I would say this makes it very portable for taking with you, but this isn't a
I'll enter
tablet
to put
for
it on
someone
eBay.
the go. However,
I'm
it
scalping
is
tablets
very
now, it's
useful
new
for a
range.
younger person with smaller hands to the
Oh,
point that the
Nathan.
two programmable
Nathan, do you
10
get
buttons
Disty on
can be
tablets?
removed altogether for a smooth
Nathan,
finish
do you
to
get
keep
Disty on
things nice and
tablets? I'd
simple
love to
for a
talk to you
younger
about that.
budding artist. Maybe they've got one pen and you've got the other, which is the XP Pen X3 Pro. This is more suitable for medium-sized hands with a rubber non-slip and grey plastic form, boasting two nearly flush hotkeys that still read nice and easily by touch alone with your thumb, and a large eraser button on the back. Both of these pens have
You will never use that
16,000
eraser
pressure
button, by the
levels
way.
of sensitivity, and this one follows a familiar, comfortable form factor that's been in use for
Pretty much
over
an
a decade,
anachronism.
with a flared circumference near the tip for comfort over time.
He's gonna be
Then
Welsh
inside
Walmart.
the case, you also have a
Can you-
Bluetooth
Welsh Walmart?
USB receiver, and this is so that you can pair your
I can
laptop
imagine you
or
opening a
PC along
fucking
with the
shop.
XP
You'd just
Pen
be like,
wireless
"Boys, I've opened a
shortcut
shop."
express keys. This is a lovely, sleek set of hotkeys and a matte black
Boys, I've
housing
opened a
with
second
darker
shop.
buttons that have a very fine grain texture and a very slight raised single nib on the middle key with a scroll
size
wheel
PC
that
display
comes with a
tablet do you
very
recommend?
good medium clicking to its rotation.
16 is the
10
minimum
button setups are designed to
for
work as
being
4 different preset
big
groups
enough,
of 9,
but you're never
except being
cramped.
your switch button to
You can
save
work
your
on a 16 your
non-drawing
entire
hand
life
from
and be
navigating
okay.
all over your keyboard when doing
You'll
your
often
art.
probably want to go a
when
little
it comes
bigger,
to tablet
but
reviews,
it's not
you
going to
may
be like a
notice that I
massive
don't
problem.
tend to measure how well it's going
And
to draw a
16 is
straight line
really
against
good
the ruler or test the pen's
because it's very
accuracy across
mobile.
every corner inch of the
You can
screen,
throw a
because
16
as
in a
an
bag.
illustrator, I don't really work like that in real life.
I
So
like
instead, I just sat down
19
with the
stroke
Artist Pro
20.
24 for a couple of evenings.
If
to
I'm
give you my
traveling,
overall impressions
I
of
can
what it's
still
like
put
to
this
work
in
with.
my,
Firstly, the main one is for someone like me
overhead-
who's very accustomed
overhead
to
luggage,
working comfortably
just.
on drawing tablets in the 16 to 20.
And I can move it around my
I
desk,
was really
but it's
hit by
also
how big the Pro
plenty of
24
space to
is.
work
This
on.
is not a peripheral device, but instead just
So,
straight up
out of
going
those
to be one
options
your
that
big
you've gone
main
for, I'd
monitor
say
screens.
22.
And also with its
Everything
further
up from there
large
is really
ergonomic
great for
working
looking at
surface
big
that
art,
extends generously
but
around the
ultimately,
edge, which
you
is a
are
good
not
thing
going to
for
use all
large
of this
gestures
extra
and brush
surface area.
strokes, as well as still supporting your hand as you draw all over the place. It does mean that this tablet overall is large enough to be a statement piece in your own creative space that says, "Hey, look at me, I'm drawing."
20 and a
Now,
carry-on
with
still
this
a lot.
in
Yeah,
mind,
I mean,
at
this is-
first I almost felt
this is
like
literally
was a
like
little bit
the
too
entire
much to work
clothing
with, as
section
I was
of
still sitting at my
my
desk
big
in a
carry-on
regular
bag.
position. That meant my main working screen area with my hand was just of a lower right-hand section of the screen center, and that reaching over
Yeah,
the
that's
drop-down
exactly the
menu
sort
on
of thing he'd
left
say in my
ended up
chat.
becoming a much larger arm motion, and these are the very minor details that
Have you
build
ever
up
travelled
over
with a
time.
tablet? Yeah, I
However,
took my
once
iPad to
actually
Japan
treated this
then,
more like a draft
when I met you.
surface and raised up my chair height and position with the tablet tilted a little further
And did you
back,
use
I
it?
found myself in a much more appropriate working position ergonomically,
Yeah, didn't I?
and from there everything started to click. With a smaller tablet you can really sit there and make the thing come to you, but once you're working with a full-on drafting surface in size, you might find you want to sit up a little higher and move yourself over to it. Also, personally when I'm drawing I tend to have a second zoomed out copy of my artwork on the left of my tablet, whilst working on the right hand side with something that zooms in a bit more, or still retaining the big picture of how it's affecting
I can't
me,
believe I never
as well
published
as
this.
just being a very useful reference copy when recording art content. But as you'll see, I did end up ditching that approach when drawing for this review.
So, like,
because on
XP
this
Pen are
much
just
larger
like-
screen, I could work at a scale
Did we
that
just
left me
lose a
comfortable
tablet?
to draw the details,
Did he
while
just
still
keep
having
it?
enough surface
Is this the
area
equivalent of
surrounding it to
stealing?
still let me see most of the overall
We sent it to
illustration.
him.
In terms of the ergonomics of where my brush
But the
strokes
video
landed on
never
the
came
screen as I
out.
worked, I still found that I was focusing
If
my
I go to
attention
China,
on
like, am I
artwork
gonna
within
get
a vague
arrested?
12-inch area, usually just right at the middle center, but seemed to be the same as my overall working style on a slightly smaller tablet. But being able to visually take in the rest of the canvas on that larger extension of surface area did help to keep the big picture in mind. And as more of a side note, I would actually love...
We're going to have to do the Mikey Classic. Hope that whoever works in XP Pen marketing gets promoted and somebody new leads the team. And eventually I get one of those first time emails from one of their scouters. Hi, I'm part of the XP Pen team. Would you ever be interested in looking at one of our tablets? Oh wow, XP Pen for the first time ever. Yes, I'm a fresh young guy called Mikey.
I prefer. It's not something in which I tend to partake. There's barely any parallax to mention, and the latest generation of pen technology in all
This is a
the big
rewatch.
three brands, including of course XP Pen, is really sensitive. I'd argue that things were more than fine already back in
Do you
the
need
day
protective
when all
foil on a
pens had
display tablet?
8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, because I
these
don't even
days,
use brushes that
mostly
come in
no.
8,000 different sizes or levels of contrast. contrast, but as somebody who does like to work a little bit more lightly with his brushstrokes, I think I did feel that increase.
If it's a bit more off-brand,
making me have to tap
possibly.
very lightly when using the magic wand selection tool. Otherwise, Photoshop would also try moving the area before I was done. I'm glad that all of the leads have secure.
You start posting a million sub YouTube channel, probably hear from now again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it off as long as possible. I'll just keep making stuff on Mikey Mega Live. I'll just stay low, undercover Fenrir, stay under the radar now. Why doesn't Mikey ever post on his main channel? I'm a bit more off-piste now.
And as for the remote hotkeys, it had just enough buttons on it to cover my.
I only post on Newgrounds where nobody will find me.
Move, enter, deselect, brush, undo.
Mikey Mega.
Without me having
You're a hard man to find.
Menu that changes the function of
Wasn't meant to be easy.
Also, compared to something like the slightly larger Huion Kidal, it was just small enough that I could hold it in my non-drawing hand and still comfortably navigate 6 of those buttons and the scroll wheel with just my thumb without having to shift it around in my grip.
Make Newgrounds great again.
Digital stylus pens.
Did you hear about Did you hear about DeviantArt recently? In order to create a narrative where their website had a massive turnaround and it was back, because now they've got loads of paid and purchasable shop services for art generators. It's strongly believed that basically they saw how fake Instagram people made money with adverts, and they were like, we should do that, because obviously their website sort of half died, and so it's strongly believed that they've been botting their own shop, and that there's loads of fake bot accounts making purchases from their own AI accounts for AI artwork, so that it looks really good to actual humans to buy their shop services and make loads of sales, but the sales don't exist. There's like a circular currency in there. And so now, like, they're reporting like loads of growth this year, and all the accounts that do all the purchasing look really, really dodgy. They're always like names followed by numbers with absolutely no data or history, and they've always just been made. Oh dear. Allegedly.
65Hz 2K monitor screen that also comes with a very wide viewing angle when I was using it for other things like playing.
It's almost
movies.
like they're
now, this is
lying.
Not the tablet for someone traveling on the go, and I really wouldn't want to try it with anything other than the very strongest.
This is just allegedly.
Arms if you plan to make this a bit more mobile on your desk, as well as taking care to make sure it's not too saturated in the warm tones before you start coloring your artwork in. However, in terms of having a large creative working surface, this really is a
also
nice
known as
kit that's very well
fraud.
presented, and it makes you feel like you're working with some of the best that XP Pen has to offer. Which,
accounts
just for the sake of
are
comparison, is
purchasing
available at literally
AI-generated
half the
artwork
price of the Wacom
from
Cintiq
other
Pro
accounts
24,
that make it.
which doesn't come with a
And
full upright
nobody
stand.
in that
well done,
process
XP Pen. This thing is
is
great,
believed
and
to
a
be
great
an
big
existing
thank you for sending
person.
over the Artist Pro 24
But it means there's loads of
drawing
growth
tablet for review.
and
As ever, the
good
links are in the
reason for making
description
other
below
people
if you'd like
pay
to grab
for
one
their
of these things for
services.
yourself, and hop into the comment section if you think
It's
there's
going great for
anything
them.
I've missed, or if you have some further questions of your own. So thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe to Mikey Mega for some more art and reviews, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Right, you asked for an opinion on that one particular tablet, and I answered you with a 8-minute custom video that nobody else has ever seen before. Who else gives you that kind of fully engrossed support and advice? Anybody else have any questions that are going to make me realize I've not published a tablet review? That's the best answer you're ever going to get on Twitch. All right. Banger 2026 tablet review. I missed the first couple seconds. I'm gonna watch it again. Right again. They're pretty much the Temu for art. I was trying to look at new mugs today on Temu because Eva told me to replace this. And Temu have got that classic Chinese supplier thing where they're like, yeah, 28 fluid ounce mugs. And they've got loads of pictures of 28 fluid ounce mugs. And then if you actually go into the item specification, it's like, this is an 11 fluid ounce mug. And then you see all the reviews of everybody who's like, this mug is half as big as I thought it was. And it's just like, ah, yes, the other side of buying from China. The fact that they're all a bunch of fucking chances. The SEO dude's gonna be so... Why have we got a sudden interest in our 2024 XP pen tablets? Where's this coming from? It's just me quietly, like, putting a video out and just being like... It's sad where DeviantArt is now. Isn't a place for that kind of thing these days. I mean, now they're trying to be more of a shop and service, I think, that helps people sell their art. But I don't think anyone considers that to be a website with any kind of professional integrity. Solid Wing, not a bad idea. You have to say BJ in here, Solid Wing, though. Tim, how are you? I'm running on vapor at this point. Oh, dude, what have you been up to today? I'm going to have to re-edit that video so that the audio is not quite as intrusive. And also at the very end, I'll be like, by the way, guys, I'm going to give away this tablet in one of my live giveaways. And don't XP Pen, I forgot to publish a video. Don't, they will never work with me again otherwise. If you never see me review an XP Pen tablet ever again when I get back to making content, you're going to know why. Yeah, Virion. Right. Right. Should we put more tops on boobs? Yes, Mikey. That's what I love, and that's what I love too. I'm glad we're simpatico. What was the next likely offender? I've just got to go to back to my old Twitch folder lineup. How are we doing for time? Oh shit, half an hour. Okay, let's get one more done. Oh damn, I really wanted to play Tenchu Stealth Assassins tonight. I got a PlayStation emulator. Guys, as you've probably noticed, because this goes really slowly when I'm live streaming and talking to you guys, is it your drawing that? User 248348. Yes, dude. I drew both of these at slightly different times for slightly different intent. The one on the left is a bit quicker, and the one on the right took ages. But at the moment, I'm basically adding more clothes back on top of my older artwork, just to make it a bit more family safe. So guys, basically, we're going to do this again tomorrow. I'm so sorry. I thought I was going to get this done in a day, but I'm trying to make it look remotely acceptable. So tomorrow we're going to put more clothes on more boobs. And we've got Star Trek Monday. So tomorrow night we're going to watch Star Trek TNG Episode 3. A live watch along with your boy, Mikey Mega Mega on Twitch. But I'm either not, because I don't care, or I might also try to fit in some Tenchu. I might also try to play some Tenchu tonight and just go to bed a little bit later. But let's do one more lady first and we'll see how I feel afterwards. Oh yeah, sorry. And let's see which lady that's going to be. I'll go back to looking. If they're doing that, it'll be in the public records that companies will need for compliance when compared to the sales and mentioned growth. It will show, depending on a company type and size. Yeah, Dempsey, I mean, you are correct. Ultimately, you get found out. But there's so many ways to fiddle that and so many ways to do it without being investigated at all. It's like how, do you know, so like on Twitch, they often promote, oh, you need to do more collabs. Have you noticed how Twitch all of a sudden was like, collabing is the best thing in the world. Do a collab to grow your audience. They're not doing that because they want to help you grow your audience. Because that audience is already on Twitch. That's not bringing in any more money or any more spending. I'm sure they hope that it means a person will spend on 2 streamers instead of 1, so that they can take half that money. But they're mainly doing it so that they can show increased overall streamer numbers to their advertisers who pay them to advertise. They're doing it to bump their figures without actually increasing traffic on the website. Instead of 2 streamers streaming to 60 people each, they can show data that shows those 2 streamers are streaming to 160 people, 120 people each. And be like, all right, these are all real people. These are all real viewers. Confirmed. Advertisers, please give us more money. It's all number shuffling under the guise of promoting streamers. It's a whole thing. So yeah, the amount that you can get away with in a business is actually quite surprising. I've only been present during one audit when I worked for a financial arm of a company, and it was a very interesting time. Royal Verse, did you draw this? Yes, mate, I did. These are both mine. The styles are different, but they are both from the same universe. The one on the left is my OC Victoria from Elvenheim. The one on the right is also an original character, but she's a character in a manga that I'm working on for people over 18 who like to read manga. Anyway, moving on quickly. So let's do one more cover up. Twitch. There's a really bad offender that we can't fix. Oh! Still unvictorious. Oh, it's Tommy Funko! Oh, it's a bit underwhelming. Itami Funko has just dropped 5 gift subs into chat. Itami, I was keeping an eye out for you, and I was keeping an eye out for someone else. It was either Full Metal or somebody. Faithfox die. Oh shit, I can't go far back enough in my feed. Basically, dude, there's you, Itami, and there's somebody else who resubbed at tier 2. Itami, you are already, if you wish it right now, down to have a tarot reading from the TCG decks. And now I could read you 2 cards worth. You gorgeous people on Twitch, Itami Funko has dropped gift subs landing on SD Kenji, Kaitsa, Wiggle Art, or We88, Lav's Last Words, and Brian Gamer 420. You can all now download my art for free in Discord as full-on citizens of the Megaverse. Thank you, Itami! Let me load up the next waifu, but we're not going to do it immediately. Oh, here we go. So another one that was definitely causing a problem, I suspect, has been Alternative Goth Free Ren. Emo Free Ren. One sec. I'll just close this one in. I'm going to move this guy over here. Tommy, I'm having to cover up with boobs. How you doing, dude? How's your day? Bro, it's fine, really. Well, you're going to get at least one, whether you want to or not, so shut your fat mouth. Thank you so much for the support, brother. Dude, Atami, we've talked about this before. You're going to have to stop, man, because I don't have anything in place right now to celebrate you hitting a big figure. Obviously, you'll go in the Hall of Heroes when we eventually do that, but I don't have anything else cool. I might never, but let's make sure I don't come up with something. Even if it's just like a shitty art, I don't know. Don't worry, Mikey, the tier 2 hullabaloo will be present enough for me. Yeah, don't hold your breath. So this one, I assume, is causing a YouTube problem. This was not pointed out in the timestamps for me when I got an actual human to actually look on YouTube after filling out a load of forms. But this got my Instagram shut down for not shut down, but limited for a second. Really randomly, Instagram did like one of their AI sweeps, and then I got a message saying that this had been taken off for like inappropriate sexualized content of minors, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And then they were like, because of that, you can no longer live stream on our platform, and your associated Facebook Meta account, I couldn't like run adverts. Not that I use Facebook. And then I appealed it, and literally 2 days later, they were like, oh yeah, our mistake, and they restored everything. But I was, mate, for a bit, I was like, oh my god, I'm a pornographer! I'm a pornographer of minors! No! So, the problem with this is the whole point of Alternative Free Ren was her tats, but this is also a much older art piece, so I'm not too bothered. So I'm gonna give her like a semi-opaque black, just extra straps and tube top. But it'll be on a semi, so I'll just do like a multiply layer maybe, and we'll probably be fine. We'll see how this one goes as well. It'll only be 1,000 gifted. You shut your 1,000 mouth. Right, guys, one quick moment. Itami Funko has gifted 5 subs into the channel. And that means I'm going to use my other ability. Now, as many of you know, I, Mikey Mega Mega, am primarily an artist and an illustrator, but I actually have a second job because I'm from an ancient bloodline of psychics and mediums. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but my mum used to read a crystal ball in the Victorian era, and she's very old when she had me. And I can be a conduit for higher cosmic powers. It's a gift and a curse. And I rarely share this side because I used to solve murders on behalf of the police force in the 90s. It was a really big deal back then. But every now and then I like to bring that back. So, Itami Funko, for you, I will once again reach my mind and open my third eye. Itami, I'm seeing sights of the future, but I will need something from you, Itami. It could be a personal item from your home, a loved one's photograph, or maybe, Itami, if you could type !D20 for me in chat. And I, Mystic Mega Mega, will use the sacred waifu tarot reading cards to discern your fate. Yes, a priceless opportunity for wisdom to stare deep into your own futures through the third eye mind of Mikey Mega Mega. Itami Funko rolled an 18 and a 3. Yes, I can feel it now. There's spirits in the room with us. Oh, hold back, I can't speak to you all at once. I know you missed your loved ones, but I must discern the fate of a viewer. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yes. 18, of course, the angel number of being old enough for internet pornography. Yes. And a 3, the sacred zodiac animal of the mongoose? Yes. Yes, this feels like the right card. Yes, I can feel the psychic senses. For wisdom. Itami Funko, is there anything important coming up in your life? A meeting with your loved ones? A reconnection with your family after you moved away? Old friends from the army? I shall use it as a great insight. By putting a song on repeat. Itami Funko, your future in the cards is vast. The spirits of the waifus tell me, Itami, to move my screen over here so I can keep facing this way. And they further tell me, you are a man with many options in his life, many opportunities before you. But my friend, you'll often find your focus distracted if you're not careful. Eyes on the prize, Itami. Her eyes are up here. No, Itami, no! Don't let the poo-tang ruin the wu-tang. No! So, Itami, listen well. You're going to be spreading your interests too far. Juggling 2 guns as you would spin 2 plates. And many more. There's many things you're into, Itami. Drinking, drawing furry art, your Pond YouTube channel, and much more. So, keep on the straight and narrow. No more YouTube channels, Itami. For it's very important to remember. But if you don't protect the core interests in your life, like a big sun hat would protect a hot young waifu, if you don't focus on what really matters, your loved ones, El Familia, the memory of Grandpa, and those around you in a troubled household, you will find yourself bloated like a giant poorly described Pokemon, enfattened by the woes of corporate hubris.
And if you heed my advice, Atami, if you managed to avoid this, you will certainly and shinily become a wonderful, hot, bikini babe in an underground bunker. Yes, Atami, when the age ends and the rockets fall and the AI overlords control the Earth, we will all be scrabbling underground, scrabble, scrabble, with our little mole fingers. But you will already be safely there, having focused on your family and loved ones as previously mentioned. And also, just double check the ID of your girlfriend, Atami. I love you, Atami, but they're quite young in this deck. I'm not gonna lie. Just ask to see her passport. Just quickly. Tell her you're going on holiday. Just double check she's 21 before you go to that pub, Atami. And if you do, you'll be safe. Oh, I'm feeling a shiver. Oh, the spirits are leaving me now. Oh, they're going. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, I'm no longer a conduit. They're gone. This house is clear.
Atami Funko, thank you so much for the gift subs, brother. Well, use that wisdom, mate, how you see fit. Mystic Mega, my side hustle. I'm here for bookings and readings and family events and parties. Also, I'll keep that pool for you. Brother, I must reach into the other realm from time to time when I'm not getting booby artwork done. Oh, Mcroft is here. Fuck! Hey, Mel! This is Mel's theme tune whenever she comes into my stream. No! Mel's here! God be good, Mel! No, get it away from me! Get back! No, she doesn't deserve that. She's super dope. Anyway, where was that playlist that we're listening to? Let's just put on some Tantra. If you do that for 5, what happens with 100? Oh, mate, you do not want to know. So, Mel, if you're on my other subscription account, at the $50 mark, I start sending you my nudes. They're really tasteful. But I don't stop sending them. And it's $100 if you want me to stop. Because they happen weekly. I'm doing stuff, Mel. Not ready. Good deal. Good deal. £100 for mental peace. Anyway, Tommy, thank you so much, man. We'll line you up another one tomorrow, dude, if you want it, because you did 5 giftos at the start of the month before I'd set up the rewards plan for this month. Also, everybody follow Mcroft. She's super cool, super creative. She's the world's biggest Lara Croft fan. Oh my god, Mel, I can't remember what it was. This is so stupid, and you won't remember. I think, Mel, it was something... I think we were talking about a certain favourite beloved author of fantastical children's adventures whose public opinion doesn't always meet the values that a lot of readers felt were expressed in her early works, and not super widely accepting of different lifestyles. I'm sure you can guess who I'm talking of. And I think you were sort of talking about, like, you know, divorcing the author from the thing, but, like, you were never necessarily super into that series, so you're happy to let it go. And I just had this flash of imagination where I was sort of, obviously it's not worth describing because it's just shit that keeps me happy. But I was imagining a universe, Mel, where in the new Lara, because I was like, what would upset Mel then? Because she doesn't care about jingoist Harry Potter. What would upset Mel? Because I often, I'm like Batman, Mel. Do you know how Batman always had like a secret plan on how we defeat everybody else in the Justice League? I'm like that. What kind of lies would I have to spread on Twitter to take down all the other people in the creative categories so that I can become number one? So I just had this fantasy in my head, Mel, where basically the new Tomb Raider movie comes out, and it's Sophie Turner, right? So I wanted the new Tomb Raider movie to come out, and I wanted Sophie Turner to do an interview where she just goes, "Hi, I'm Sophie Turner, and I'm playing the character of the biological woman, Lara Croft." I wanted her to just drop something like that. I play Lara Croft, a biological British woman who kicks ass and has guns for the girls. And I just want like that one interview to go out just to like ruin your day. Just to like be like, oh. And literally it's only a thought, Mel, but I want you to know that thought made me really happy. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. He's pulling an Adobe! Mel, I just realised on stream that I never released a tablet review from 2 years ago. I'm not kidding, I'm sweating and I don't know what to do about it. I'm going to release it really quietly. Anyway, sorry guys. I got to meet Mel at TwitchCon and I still haven't washed my hand. Never touched her. It's just something I don't do in general. Okay, good, Phil, good, Phil, good. That card art was triggering a memory that I can't remember. Where is that character from? All those characters are from Nike, Goddess of Victory. We've got BTO 1, 2, 3 and the special packs because I have a TCG card dealer, an actual importer, not a scalper. I've got somebody who can get me cards from source. They forgot too because they would have chased you for it. Yeah, I just Mel, I'm gonna release it in a few weeks and just not email anybody, and then whoever my contact was, I'm assuming they've been promoted, and I'm just gonna wait for a fresh young member of their team to reach out to me and be like, "Hi, have you ever considered reviewing our products?" And I'll be like, "Wow, yeah." So I literally, I'm just like, anyway, moving on. We need to put a top on this girl. This one's going to suck a bit. I think we're literally just going to have to semi-opaque it, the whole thing up. And that'll do for tonight. We're going to do this tomorrow, guys. Don't forget we've got Monday Night Star Trek tomorrow as well for the watch-along. But I'd quite like to just play Tenchu in a minute. So let's go. Anyway, long story short, it's Army Funko. Thank you for your massive support over the years. It's appreciated, big man. I only get that for adult toys. I'm not angry, I'm just running out of space. Damn, Miss Katie B, you need a big box like I've got. I've got a great big tub, like an 85-litre thing. Actually, I've got loads of them now, they're so useful. How you doing, by the way? You played Nikkei for a bit. Probably a character I didn't use. There's some really awesome designs on there. The quality of Nikkei artwork's amazing, but the actual amount of time doing your dailies adds up. I just can't get into that. I gave it a go for a good while, and I play Nikkei whenever they've got an upcoming special event that I really want to get a pull for. But man, that grind for Primer Gems is no joke. They probably did. This man doesn't check his email. No, I'm not into that. I'm just not into it. You start worrying about what's in your inbox, mate, it's like a slippery slope. Well, let's have some tea. You want to get some work done? Yeah, good on you, man. I'm doing good. Learning how to make an anime style characters in 3D. Oh, we just met a brand new internet friend earlier. Somebody who's a 3D model or live streamer. What are you using? Is it Blender by any chance? Somehow it feels like talking about Resident Evil. Wait, Nachi, what does? What a way to drop into the live just now. Oh, hi, Chris. Did you drop in whilst I was currently communing with higher astral powers? Sorry, sorry. It's just one of my side abilities. I'm a very gifted man. I remember a woman back in my education days saying that I was really special. Oh, no, wait, sorry. A woman from my special education class said that I was ruining every day. That was it. Also, thanks for the follow. Hello. Do you want to know what's really weird for this one? And it might be because I'm not super into like, and don't get me wrong, I love all body types. In real life, I'll put my dick in anything. But like when it comes to drawing waifus, I'm not super into drawing like very petite. Now this is an elf, obviously, but the petite youngish characters don't super do it for me, which is why I covered her in tattoos. But when I put on hot pants, I actually like her way more. And normally I'm just like, take the clothes off. I'm trying to do something. Anyway, moving on. I think the hot pants literally balance out the image better. I think the bikini might actually be fine. I think this might actually do the trick. We'll see. It depends what some random YouTube AI thinks it's looking at. It emphasizes the size of hips you gave it. Yeah. Yeah, I should have tried it earlier. Show us on the doll where the woman who called you special. Previously on Touched by an Art Streamer. It's okay, Melanie. You're in a safe place now. Show us on the doll where Mikey told you to start drawing. Rose that K doing, by the way, dude. Big black square, call it a day. Yeah, boy wants to play a video game from 1998. I ain't got time for titty anymore. Ew, thank you for the follow, though. Welcome on in. Can you share your experience with the refresh rate in the display tablet? Is it such a big deal from 60 Hz for drawing? What, you're talking about the 120 Hz on that XP pen and stuff? I just don't notice any problems like that. Whenever I'm seeing a problem where I'm drawing a line and that line is taking a moment to catch up with a pen, it's usually because my computer is being throttled because Photoshop can get really funny with the resources. especially on some very like clever brush types for emulate watercolor, which Clip can do quite well apparently, but Photoshop for some reason can't, without making a second fan turn on in my PC. So I don't really have much to say there. I'm awfully sorry. Like I've never experienced enough of a problem to have sort of noted it as a thing to worry about. Like right now, it's pretty good. I just don't remember it being worse. Except that my old PC used to really struggle to get stuff happening. Same, I'm not a lolly. Yeah, we sort of covered this topic before. Like, I don't want to live in a world where you can go to prison for a drawing. I think that's a bit concerning in its own right. But also, I am a realist. If you've got like a collection of Lolicon, then hey, power to you. But I'm never gonna let you babysit my kids. Nah. But then there's a massive difference between a woman with a petite frame versus a minor, especially in terms of how you draw them as well. You still want appealing designs if you're going to draw younger characters in your own manga and stuff. That might do. Ooh, what we're going to have to do is we're going to do a duplicate layer, and I'm just going to treat this a little bit like tights, and I'm just going to go dark around the edges. Or lighter in between. Can I go the opposite way? Can I just do a soft erase on the core areas? Let's find out. Do vectors cause more lag? I do not work with vectors, my friend. I don't illustrate in a manner that I use that. Even if I'm making like web assets, I usually will just illustrate something and then like I'll let like a dev make a vector layer of that to actually use it for presentation. So I don't know about vectors, mate. I hear that vectors are designed specifically to run smoother because they're a series of calculations and curves. Again, that's not one of those things where I've got experience in. That might do the trick. I don't think this is one that was super problematic, weirdly, because the way it's set up is that this image is when this image is in the gallery that's down here, you can see the gallery is very square. This image is probably cropped, and it's mostly cleavage that's freaking out YouTube. So I'll do this for the moment. This is a very quick and rough one. Thanks for sharing. Oh, no, good questions, mate. Oh, Fen, you're a vector boy. What are your thoughts? Do you ever work on vector-based projects that lag out your PC? Is now a good time to ask you your specs, Fen? Oh, Fenrir just went Mikey, and I went, and he went go long, and he threw me a ball. And I went, what was that? And the ball just went, whee, right over my head. Fenrir works with vectors. So for those of you who may not be aware, one of my mods, Fenrir, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Sicario, where they go with a hit team into Mexico to pick up a drug lord. And some of those guys are like military imported CIA hardmen. And there's like one of them who's like a tactical guy with glasses who will just ruthlessly execute people. Have you ever seen that military photo of that one guy with glasses who's responsible for dispatching people overseas, very famously? Fenrir's a little bit like that. He's got some vectors and he's got a license to kill. Fenrir is very cool about it, but I think Fenrir's done wet work. A 7,800 times 3D. A 9700 XT. I think that was an anime. My neighbor Sicario. Bill, damn, Bill. I want to see that. I want to see My Neighbor Sicario. I want to see a magical adventure where a family moves in near the Mexican border into their new life because their mum's ill. And the little girls go on an adventure where they become CIA assets in an illegal overseas operation. God, what's that guy's name? The guy in Sicario who plays not Del Toro, the guy who plays not Thanos. Hannah, you gorgeous thing. How you doing? Mikey, hello. Hannah, how have you been? Hello, Hannah. No, that's not his name. Hannah, how are you? Josh Brolin, thank you very much, Fenrir. Can of Coke. Fenrir, would you mind just so I think your Fenrir, I think your tech in your computer is not Intel and or not Nvidia. I don't know if these are AMD terms. Are you able to give me like a dumb comparison? Not that I'm measuring dicks with you. I'm just curious about that based on back when I thought you were doing vector art. So in fact, all of this is null and void. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I want to see a giant Josh Brolin come down in an umbrella and go up to two little girls and just be like, do you want to really get back at the people who did this? I mean, the people who really did this. And the little girls are just like, what? No lawyers. Who's that man? That's the cat bus. He's on loan from a cartel. Hello? I don't know if you know the book hardcover or hashtag hardcover. It was a project for erotic illustrations from 100 artists. It was a project that wanted to show that for artists, nudity is something normal. That's interesting, dude. Like, so as far as I'm concerned, there's two very separate sentences in everything that you've just said. For artists, nudity is something normal. For a lot of artists, it is. Not for everyone, but like, in terms of like your history as learning to draw, or if you've ever taken art classes, you've probably done life studies. You probably had someone stand nude in a room so that you can draw them. So it does get normalized a bit. But like in a similar way, if you've ever been a theatre kid and done theatre at uni, there's a bit where they make you masturbate underneath a blanket in a room full of people. There's all sorts of stuff designed to normalize or desensitize or make you get over hang-ups so that you can get on with your job. If your job is to draw human bodies, having a hang-up about naked human bodies is going to get in the way of your work. But that's still very, very separate from doing erotic illustrations, to be fair. It is, it's AMD. Hell yeah, brother. I'm mostly listening to music now. Guys, I think we are done for the art part. Hang out with me tomorrow, please, because tomorrow I will be doing more of this. Covering up boobs in my old art. We're still not done by a long shot. So come hang out with me for some more art and chill and chat. And then tomorrow night we're going to be doing another episode of our Star Trek TNG watch along on Twitch. So come watch some old school Star Trek. I'm going to take you on a magical journey. I'm going to be honest, the episode that's actually playing tomorrow, and I'm not kidding you, has often been voted the worst episode of any Star Trek ever made. Although to be fair, that was before Picard season 2 came out. It is the one where they visit the planet of the Blacks. And again, that's not how I talk. That's what the episode is like. So good luck, all of us, and God bless America. So let's see how we go tomorrow. This one's going to be tough for a watch along. Right, anyway. I'm just closing a few things here. But we've made great progress so far, guys. Great progress. I speak.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Nogatore, thank you very much for the follow. Theatre does what? Keem, ask if you know anybody in a drama or any of those circles. Just ask them about the weird shit that can happen in your university theatre courses. It's different from taking it at, like, in school. Yo, Mikey, big fan. Started watching your old VODs or drawing. I miss your YouTube, my guy. Arachnid Arts. Yo, hey, welcome. Thank you very much for the kind words. I know that people want tutorials, and I will eventually return to them. I just have to get my house in order, in a specific order. First, but watch this space. Okay, you gorgeous people who've been chilling out on YouTube, you're amazing. I love you so much. The 3 human beings on Kick that aren't bots, you're also pretty cool. We're done for the night. I'm going to still stream over on twitch.tv/MikeyMegaMega. We're not stopping, but the art part is done for now. And we'll be doing more of the art part tomorrow, so hang out for more. All right, guys, have a good one. Everybody on my end, say bye, YouTube. Bye, bye, YouTubers. You guys are amazing. Or just come. Are any of you old? I'm going to play a PlayStation 1 game now. I'm going down memory lane. Come hang out. Bye. Oh yeah, I'll drop a link actually. YouTube TOS doesn't care. Not the way Twitch does. Hey YouTubers, we're over here now. Hey YouTubers, we're over here now. That's me. Alright, bye YouTubers. Bye. Thanks for hanging out. Warmest wishes, warmest wishes. Hey.